Hello. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far today. And, guess it's time to jump right into more Ender Magnolia and see if we can maybe make it out of the lower stratum areas. I'm assuming that we can make it out of the lower stratum areas. And that we can actually make it up to somewhere a little bit higher. I'm gonna probably the middle stratum that I keep seeing talked about. I'm gonna turn up the game volume slightly. We are missing items in the area. In several of these rooms, we are missing items, it looks like, which is interesting. I'm not sure what we'd be missing in the room to the right of us. This room over here. I'm not entirely sure what we're missing because it looks like we've mostly explored that room at this point. So I'm gonna go. I think that's where we're gonna start looking. Gotta make sure I actually have all my, or know what I'm actually have equipped. Yeah, we're probably just missing an item somewhere obvious. That tends to be what happens. That we're just like missing an item tucked somewhere that should be fairly easy to see, but that we just aren't. Also, we take a lot of damage from like every little attack. Yeah, we take a lot of damage from even simple little things. Okay, I do want to try to be a little bit more careful on the way back up, because I'm not. That would be what we're missing. Because I'm just like, we're probably just missing some secret hidden walls somewhere, or like a bit of a breakable wall, or something along those lines. Because that tends to be what I've noticed happens in this game. Because kind of also happened in Ender Lilies. Ooh, 160 materials. I like 160 materials because that's like upgrade materials, which is honestly super handy. Okay, and then I needed to actually go up. I needed to actually go up as well, and not just hang around. Okay, we will get everything done though. And also, a little bit of experience can never hurt anybody. Honestly, we're still at full health, and we got full heals as well. So I'm not sure why I'd need to stand there, or why I need to actually use the respite right now. Okay, because yeah, I need to clear out all the enemies in this room before I get slightly destroyed by all the enemies, because Ender Magnolia is still not an easy game. I say that as a normal enemy deals half my health bar worth of damage, which is just mildly unfortunate. I do want to know, because that door to the left is definitely still closed. Okay, there is a tunnel there, and I'm also at relatively low health, much lower health than I'd actually like to be sitting at right now. And much lower health than I'd like to be sitting at right now, because I kind of got hit by 2 enemies in a row, and these enemies, like I mentioned, deal a lot of damage. Which I suppose is kind of my own dang fault for turning the game's difficulty to hard, which increased, I think, enemy damage by 20%, if not more. Because yeah, it was definitely at least a 20% increase from what I remember. Oh right, there's a boss over here. Right. Or at least I think I saw this boss last time at least. Either way, it does seem like it's a logical spot for a boss to be hanging out. Ah, yeah, that attack hurt. Yeah, if you're not aware, attacks hurt in this game a lot more than they do in most other games as well. Because things deal a lot of damage. Yeah, things deal a lot. Even common attacks can deal like a pretty good chunk of my health pool worth of tricky to survive. Okay, there we go. Yeah, even like a basic attack from a common enemy is already dealing like half to more of my health pool, which is rather a concerning development. Okay, we can tune up this homunculus and hopefully either get enemy abilities, some of them give me lore. What have I done? Do not let it concern you. Please accept this as a token of apology. I will always take tokens of apology. Ooh, upgrade materials. An experimental amplifier. I'm not sure which one that goes, or who that goes to. But this does give me a slightly better pathway to a respite, I think. I think the right respite's a little bit easier to get to if I can actually... I think this respite over to the right's a little bit easier for me to actually get to. And so I'm going to run over there real quick and restore my very limited health pool. Because we don't have a lot of health. Though I suppose I did heal. Who I can get an upgrade for? It's an upgrade for my lower break damage, lower speed, but larger AoE and more damage. I think I like the higher break damage for my pressure ability, though. Alright, game does not autosave either. This game does not autosave. Which is always a mild of a mild level of concern. Okay, I do not want to run out of health on the way back over. Okay, because yeah, these enemies are still on the tricky side. That's kind of every enemy in the game, though. Yeah, every enemy in the game tends to be a little bit on the more tricky to deal with side. Just large enemy health pools, and I want materials. Yeah, large enemy health pools that are feel comparable to mine, coupled with the fact that they also have a damage output that feels comparable to mine relative to my health pool. So I guess we're on even footing, but also that means that the enemies are really strong because player characters also tend to be really strong. And this game really does not hold its punches at all. It kind of just throws everything out at you. I did notice this elevator when we were coming through before. I'm concerned things are going to jump off the elevator at us. Notification of restricted areas. Residents of the lower stratum are strictly prohibited from entering the magicite mine. I'm pretty sure that's where we are right now. The theft of magical material will result in prosecution. Furthermore, due to an increase in miners failing to return from the second stratum of the crystalline realm, the area will be cordoned off. Sounds a little bit like a dangerous area. It also looks like something I can't get. I think I've noticed those at a couple of points, and they look like grappling hook, like little grappling hook items. Okay, there is an enemy over there. Seems like it loops back off to the right. Of course, there's also a rather large quantity of enemies in the way. Though I did defeat one of these guys already, and the stronger boss variant, which makes my life a little bit easier. Keyword on little. Yeah, emphasis on the little bit easier. Little bit easier there. I say that as if I didn't just immediately run out of health. That seems to generally be what happens in this game. Is you just do anything and you're out of health. Though I am kind of debating if this is actually the easier respite to get over from, just due to the fact that there's that enemy in the way and we kind of already have to loop back through the lower room a little bit. Like, we have to go to the left through this lower room a little bit in order to actually make it up to the elevator. Because as far as I can tell, I don't think I can make that jump directly, so we already do have to loop through, like, here just a little bit. And I'm kind of wondering if that means that the coming in from the left respite might actually still be easier. Then we'd have to climb up the room, the taller room, and then traverse this room anyways, which does have me somewhat concerned it wouldn't actually be any easier, and that it just looks easier. Okay, I want to not take a bunch of damage to this enemy, though that seems to be easier said than done. Because they launch out, like, it looks like they launch 1, 2, 3 at a time, and I'm already below half health again. Yeah, it really is not an easy enemy to defeat. Oh, if I sneak behind them, they stop firing. Well, while that is smart of the enemy, that is also makes them difficult to deal with. Because that seems to be the name of the game. The enemies can actually kind of interrupt their own attack patterns. Ah, right. Let's not get slightly kaboomed by the common enemy that can take out half my health bar with a single attack. Because that's just terrifying. Also, 130 materials is always a nice little upgrade. 130 materials never hurts. Oh, drill guys who can turn around all of a sudden and attack me. That seems to be like every enemy in this game is a lot smarter than most video game enemies, which makes it a little bit tricky to deal with. Grimoire. New items can be forged at crafteries. I do kind of want to know what those items are, because those items feel like they'd probably be quite useful. I'm really hoping we get another upgrade item at some point, is what I'm really hoping to unlock eventually. Then I'm wondering if there's... what should be like a respite off to the left of this elevator room? Because it feels like it's been about how long this game's giving us between like heal point / respites. Though there are also still enemies. Okay, there are still enemies in the way. So it's not immediately respite, at least. Though I wouldn't discount this being an easier room and then a respite, because normally we have about 3 to 5 rooms between us and the closest respite. And we're between respites along the main path, and this feels like the main pathway, and it feels like we have been about that long between respites, so I'm assuming we're gonna hit a heal point sooner rather than later. Yeah, I can see it. It's never very obvious, but you can definitely see it on the map. I'm gonna fast travel to town real quick and see what we unlocked at the door that we just picked up. And I'm guessing that, because I'm kind of gonna guess that the next area is a boss. Hey, you've been taking of Munin for me? Like I said before, we need to get the grand lift in the old city working again before we could access the central stratum. Things would be a lot easier if we could find the chief attuner. Yeah, opening up the central stratum there is what I think is our goal right now. Antiquated parts. Ooh. those are new. Improve stats, but does not grant any additional actions. Press R2 to activate a barrier that attacks. I'm already having a hard enough time remembering all the other controls of the game, so I think I'm going to get the one that just works by default. And then I'm going to... I like the heal potency. I'm going to get a magic vial also for the extra relic slots. Are a bad thing. Want to equip Bombard instead of the default for the owl ability here. Helpful, even if it is a little bit hard to scroll at times. But I really like how Ender Magnolia does their map. And particularly this is what room things are you're missing stuff in. Yeah, that pathway, the fact that that's a one-way pathway feels like very much like this is a boss fight. Because if memory serves, we were a robot in a field of flowers, and that kind of screams boss fight to me. Are these homunculi graves? I'm going to guess I'm about to get attacked. I can hear the cries of my friends. My friends. Friends. I'm not sure how to read that correctly with the capitalization. Yep, that is definitely a boss fight, and that's a boss fight that deals a lot of damage. Yeah, those shockwave attacks, hurt. I think is the correct analysis of the situation is do not get hit by the boss's shockwaves or get kicked by the boss, because I'm pretty sure I can take like 5 hits like that. Okay, and then it spews out stuff everywhere that deals a massive amount of damage. I'm honestly not entirely surprised by that development, but also that's going to be tricky. Also, I need to make sure because yeah, this boss hits hard. I do suppose it is a boss fight. So the boss fight being difficult does make sense. It does make sense, at least. Okay, I want to stay away from them when they do that attack, so that they can't hit me. And then I want to take advantage of the fact that I get iframes. Because yeah, taking advantage of the fact that I get a number of iframes off of if I do take damage, I suppose I could probably trade a lower damage hit for a higher damage one at some point. If there was something that dealt lower damage and not higher damage. Giant grave digger. That's kind of a sad name for the homunculus, because that implies that they need graves and we're smashing up a bunch of them repeatedly. Okay, I can use my pressure ability from a distance. It doesn't deal a ton of damage, but it does at least give me a stun. Okay, that's stun when it gets empty. Also, I need to out of healing. And I'm at half health and out of healing, and they are at half health and have definitely a lot more health than I do. Yeah, the bosses in this game are not what I'd consider easy. Okay, that was definitely a new attack. Yeah, that was definitely a new attack, kind of throwing out those rocks everywhere. I do notice that my level bar, my experience bar is almost full, so it might almost be worth it to maybe get level 22, though I'm not sure how helpful that actually will be. Okay, it seems like the best strategy is to stay a little bit away from the boss, since they really like to do like various ground slam attacks that deal a lot of damage. A lot of damage there. Okay. So yeah, if I deal a little bit of damage, it looks like they activate phase. I'm assuming that the rocks, because they have kind of a phase transition. At this point, I'm kind of regretting not getting the parry ability, because that seems like it might have been a very useful ability. Like them, I can also dodge past them though. Yeah, when they throw out the rocks, the rocks deal a lot of damage to hit me. Granted, I think getting hit by a head-sized boulder would be rather painful thing to deal with. Also, taking damage from them jumping across the screen at me is highly unfortunate. Yeah, because they hit hard. And it takes me a split second longer than it probably should to read that they're, instead of jumping just like across the screen somewhere, to use the rock attack. So long as you're not directly in the way of them. It is when I get the rock attack when I'm close by, that seems to be causing me a lot of just difficulties right now. Because yeah, pool and about really good idea. Did I even remember to throw out my owl friend last attempt? I may have forgotten. I may have forgotten to throw out the owl friend, but it does seem to always for me. Oh, did the stream just drop for a second? I think the stream just dropped for a second, which is unfortunate. That normally doesn't happen. Unless my ISP changed a bunch of stuff on their end again and broke everything. Which I suppose has happened more than once at this point. Okay, because yeah, I need to make sure I'm not taking like any damage at any point in the entire fight. Because basically every single type of damage I can take is a major problem. The joys of the bosses having a absolutely absurd health pool and ridiculously high damage output is that absolutely every attack is like the most dangerous thing in the world, because there is no margin for error. Yeah, there is absolutely no margin for error in this boss fight, which is concerning to say the least. And I'm like maybe getting them down to half health. Okay, I can avoid taking damage there. I'm gonna call this phase 3 when they do this attack. I'm gonna call this triggering phase 3 because they get faster and they gain they gain some new attacks when this happens also. Which is problematic to say the least. Yeah, those rocks are problematic to say the least. Because that is highly concerning that I can't. That he seems to be doing that like after every jump attack, and he's doing that jump attack a lot. And we're out of health again. I think that's the best attempt I've gotten off on this boss so far. Yeah, I think that's the best attempt I've had against this boss so far. Which I will absolutely take a good attack, or a better attempt. I dodged right into that attack. Okay, I dodged straight into those attacks right there, which is concerning and problematic. I also need to make sure I toss out my owl friend, though I'm also already at 1 out of my 3 heals left. And they are at basically full health still. And I'm now at 0 of my 3 heals left because I need to heal from being stuck in the weird spot during that attack, and I just got hit by their kick attack. It turns out that Ender Magnolia, when you turn the difficulty of an already hard game up too hard, gets really hard. is at least what I'm gathering so far. Okay, I can get a stun off on them. Okay. That is something. Yeah, that is something. Because we're not at least immediately zeroing out our entire health pool. Though phase is rather tricky. Okay, why do I keep getting stream disconnects today? Because that's the second one in a row that I've seen. Also, how am I still alive? I have, for all intents and purposes, like 0 actual health right now. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can really ever actually attack them directly. So I'm kind of just relying on the pressure damage to slowly take them out. Is there a better single target pressure attack, I wonder, for damage output? Okay, if I stay far away, I'm relatively safe, but also can't deal damage. And I'm out of health anyways. Okay, yeah, that is the third reconnect I've seen while just looking over there, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. It doesn't seem to be showing up too badly on the stream side, but I do keep noticing it. Because yeah, so I do like the speed there. I don't necessarily need AoE. I want the break damage, but I don't want to have to get right up in their face either. Oh, maybe I swap Owl back out for counter? Because the counter does a lot of damage. Yeah, the counter ability does do a lot of damage, which might be what we need for this fight. It's just very high damage output. Also, let me grab a sip of water, because my voice is getting all raspy. And I don't know why that's happening today. I guess less water, more green tea. It's more a bottle of green tea than anything. Because that might help me solely from the basis of it gives me, I guess technically a little bit of damage output. Because the counter does a lot of damage. Yeah, the counter does a lot of damage, but there's... How did I not take a hit right there? Yeah, the counter ability does deal a lot of damage. It just also happens to be really, really scary to be at the point where I could use it. Because, yeah, that requires me to be basically already about to take a hit. And it's not every attack that I can do it off of either. It has not the slowest or not the fastest cooldown ever either. And I missed that one, for example. And now I'm in a kind of terrible spot. Yeah, don't get stuck between the boss and the wall. There's apparently a don't get stuck between the boss and the wall, because if you get stuck between the boss and the wall, you take an awful lot of damage from what I can tell. We're getting there. We are definitely figuring it out though. Because I am definitely getting better at this boss. They are just still a rather tricky boss fight. Okay, I want to not take a bunch of damage right there. Oh, even in this phase, I can't hit them during their rock spin throw attack. Well, whatever this attack that throws a bunch of rocks out at me is. Yeah, I'm still debating if I actually am using the counter enough to make it worth the slightly lower damage per second that I'm getting. Because I don't have my passive ability, because can't have more than 4 abilities equipped at once, and I have like 6 to choose from. Which is a honestly kind of fun little combo there. I'm also at very low health, and I'd like to not be at very low health. Let's not be stuck in the small space between them and the wall. Okay, let's try to keep some space between us and the boss. Because, wow, they are kind of terrifying, and I just stood right inside of their attack there, which did not go very well. I feel like I'm taking more damage than I'm dealing from equipping the counter ability. Just because it required me to get close by the enemy. Though maybe Glacial... Oh, did I already have Glacial Fist equipped? I did already have Glacial Fist equipped, and I just wasn't using it. Because that definitely deals extra damage. Which of these has more power? Honestly, probably this one. For a single target. It's a little bit lower on the break damage. But it is still a lot of damage, but especially because it's a lot faster of an attack. Oh, and I can definitely fire that off from a distance. With the Glacial Fist, I can definitely fire off from a distance and just increase my damage output. I'm also stuck between them and the wall, which is a terrible place to be. Yeah, okay, Glacial Fist seems to definitely be a useful ability to be throwing out at the boss. Because kind of right at the distance I want to be from the boss is where Glacial Fist is. Okay, I think that's probably the thing I needed to start paying attention to beat this boss. Was that I need to actually use all 4 of my ability slots instead of only using 3 of them and forgetting that I even have the 4th one equipped. Because I don't normally need to use Glacial Fist, but it seems to be very useful here. And even if it is a cool down ability, that is significantly better damage output on my end. Yeah, that is significantly better damage output on my end, which I very much like. Is more damage output at a distance. Okay, and then we're stuck. Horrible spot to be. I have zero clue how I didn't just take a bunch of damage right there. Okay, we are still low on health, but we are getting further now. Because I think this is the furthest I made it through the boss fight at any point, which is a very good feeling. These are not easy boss fights. Yeah, these are definitely not easy boss fights. Which, honestly, I appreciate the fact that Ender Magnolia does not hold my hand and throws some, honestly, pretty wicked difficult bosses my way. I definitely could have dodged that one. I definitely could have dodged several of those attacks right there. Or I guess I really only took damage from one attack, but one attack deals a pretty sizable chunk of my health bar in damage. Always a bit of a concern. Okay, because I need to make sure I can jump over, and I need to make sure I can get out of the way of that attack, because that attack is not the best for my long-term survival rate. Yeah, that attack, being close to it, is pretty terrible for surviving. But the Glacial Fist, actually using it is super, super good, it seems like. Because that deals that gives me a significant boost to my DPS. which is exactly what I needed for the fight. And it's at the correct range from the boss that I can trigger it safely-ish. I say safely-ish because I did just take about 8 bajillion damage from the boss right there. I'm going to use that stun lock to just get out of a bad spot relative to the boss. And still run out of health anyways. Yeah, because I really can't... I basically get 3 mistakes that the boss doesn't... that I can survive in the entire boss fight. And I already used up one of them right at the start. By misreading their initial attack. Because yeah, that is... Okay, I've already used up 2 of them. Because yeah, I really don't have much capacity for healing. Yeah, I have very limited healing capacity, and the boss deals a lot of damage. And why are they just doing so many of the jump attack this attempt? Because that jump attack is one of the ones that kind of throws me for a loop every time they fire it off at me. So them repeatedly doing the jump attack is a little bit concerning. Apparently that's just what the RNG really wanted this attempt. There's just lots and lots of them jumping at me and dealing damage. Yeah, and again. Yeah, every bit of damage I can deal is... It does add up. Yeah, the Glacial Fist does give me just more damage that I can deal, though I did just take... That was my 3rd mistake of the attempt that I can make. And I only get, like I said, I only get like 3 or 4 mistakes that I actually keep my health bar above 0 for. I forgot to throw out the owl, so my damage output was lower than it should have been. Okay, we are getting it figured out. Cause yeah, I am fairly consistently making it to phase 3. That is our last mistake that I'm going to survive. Because yeah, I am very surprised that didn't deal enough damage to take me out right there. It almost, yeah, basically any attack right now will take me out at this point with my very much not high health bar. Okay, I think I'm gonna go defeat a couple of enemies in the room off to the right, because the room off to the right has a couple of enemies, and I am super close to having enough experience to level up. Yeah, I'm super close to having enough experience to actually get a level up. I don't think that actually helps me very much, because the level up in this game does not give me a ton in the way of stats, but it is potentially the slight edge I need in order to defeat Garm here. Need to make sure I have the owl out. Make sure I always have the owl out. It doesn't help when they then jump on top of me 3 times that quickly at the start of the fight. Because yeah, that is a mildly concerning. Also, I apparently need to re-debug my internet after today's stream, because that is the 4th time I've seen it disconnect randomly. I'm paying so much per month for good internet, and it is still terrible. And I really don't like it, because my ISP also never actually was disconnecting for like half a second. Also, I am basically out of healing at this point. Yeah, I'm basically out of healing, and I'm at half health. Because yeah, every single attack is like deals so much damage. It's terrifying. Okay, one attempt at a time. We are getting better, I think. Yeah, we are getting better, I think, at the boss. I'm at least consistently making it to phase 3, where he kind of does that second roar and starts having the, like, red spiral of doom on many of the attacks, which is an improvement. Okay, let's not get destroyed by their very first attack. Yeah, them jumping at me is the timing to evade it is a little bit on the tricky side for me still. So maybe if I focus a little bit more on the timing there, though I am also stuck between them and the wall, which is a bad spot to be if I can't get away from the boss occasionally. Yeah, I do like being able to open up space between me and the boss when they're doing this attack so that I don't get hit by the rocks that get thrown everywhere. That's my second hit of the attempt. Yeah, the fact that it's easier for me to just count hits I take instead of counting how much damage I actually am taking probably says a lot about how much damage this boss is actually dealing to me every time I get hit. Because that's a hit 3, which means I'm honestly I can probably if I get hit by that take 2 of them and not heal right away, and that might extend my healing slightly because I do have my build set up so that I basically get a full heal from each heal charge. That might help. Yeah, that might help a little bit. Okay, they are in phase 3 again, but they are close to being stun locked. Okay, they are gonna throw out big rocks because they started doing that every time they do either the drill attack to send out a shockwave. It gets followed up by big rocks, is what it seems like the new pattern for phase 3 is. Yeah, it seems to be an accurate read on the pattern, at least from what I can tell. Yeah, at least from what I can tell, that seems to be an accurate on the pattern. So I think I'm getting close. I need to not take damage when they do that, though, because I am at basically 0 health right now. The boss could probably look at me funny. Yeah, the boss could probably look at me funny and zero out my health pool right now, as they did. I got close. I got closer than I was difficult. Also, yeah, my internet is definitely struggling today for some reason. Which it shouldn't be. Like, it really has zero excuse for having connection issues. How did I not take damage from that attack? I legitimately do not know how I didn't take a bunch of damage right there. Okay, come in swinging. Yeah, come in swinging when they do a stun, but mostly I'm relying on my pressure and cooldown abilities right now. I should also make sure I always have the owl out because that is just a touch of extra damage, which I do very much like. 'Cause yeah, if I can actually get 2 heals off, or 2 hits off between heals, that basically doubles my survivability rate, which would be pretty useful. Actually, I think it would be more useful if I just... Okay, I can can kind of. Okay, I need to not take damage from that attack. And just make sure I'm regularly throwing out my cooldown abilities. Okay, I did just get hit right there. If they do their phase transition, I am going to burn a heal to get a full heal off. Though I suppose it's not really burning it if I take damage right before their phase transition anyways. Okay, I want to keep my health as high as I can. Yeah, I want to keep my health as high as I can and just slowly whittle them down. Slowly whittling down the boss seems to be the play. Because I need to be a lot more careful to not get stuck between the boss and the wall. Because if I can't get away from the boss without going through the middle of the boss, then I wind up taking a lot of damage from at least from what I can tell. Okay, that is close. I can tell you that whatever attempt actually wins is going to be, like, right by the wire. It's going to be, like, right on the wire for how close I actually get to defeating the boss. Which is mildly concerning. But also means it's going to be real fun when I actually win. Okay, I'm too close to the left wall. Or not left wall, right wall. I promise I know which way is left and right. That is a lot more damage than I would have liked to take right there. Which is problematic. I don't have that much capacity to take damage, even with what's basically double the healing, because I realized I can take 2 of most of the attacks. Or at least a little bit of extra healing than I had compared to what I had before. Okay, are you going to do which attack are you going to do next? You're trying to kick me. Okay. Stay away from the wall. Yeah, stay away from the wall because I do not want to be too close to the boss. Okay, yeah, I am healing even though I only took 1 hit since my last heal right there. Because I am in a bit of a tricky situation. You know, maybe the extra level I got is helpful because I am dealing more consistently 11 damage from my pressure attack compared to the 10 I was before. Just given my pressure attack is honestly fairly fast. That's not an insignificant improvement. Yeah, that's not an insignificant improvement. I also needed to definitely not just eat that shockwave attack to the face. Because, yeah, and like I said, getting stuck between the boss and the wall causes me to take a very large amount of damage very quickly. Because I can't really escape. Like, I do get iframes when I'm dodging. But I only get a couple of them. Yeah, we are dealing a decent-ish amount of damage to the boss. I think. Yeah, I need to definitely not get stuck between them and the wall, though. Because that is not good for my survivability rate anytime that happens. Yeah, this is, I think, the trickiest boss fight I've seen so far in Ender Magnolia. Though, the Shackled Beast and the Wolf bosses were also far from trivial. Yeah, those 2 bosses were also pretty far from trivial. Okay, I did not get my timing correct on that. Yeah, I definitely did not get my dodge timing correct on that one, which is concerning. Okay, because I can't stay in the air indefinitely. I'm too close to the boss in the wall, and that caused me to take a lot of damage. Though now I'm between them and the other wall. Oh, maybe I wasn't actually as close to the wall as I thought there. I just took a bunch of damage because I thought I was close to the wall due to the screen scrolling. I'm going to heal while I have the chance, I think. Yeah, this is a this is a terrifying spot to be. I need to get onto the other side of the boss. Like, ASAP right there. Okay, I can deal damage to the boss. Because I basically deal, even my normal attacks are basically just chip damage to the boss. Which is a little bit on the horrifying side of things. For even my, like, major attack to be just chip damage to a boss that deals like significant amounts of damage to me every hit. Okay. Figuring it out. Slowly. Actually, I'm figuring it out, I think, very quickly, but the boss is also a little bit rough. And while I am aware that I could turn down the boss's difficulty, where's the fun in that? Yeah, where's the fun in turning down the difficulty of a tricky boss fight? Then you don't get the satisfaction of beating the boss on the hard difficulty. Just because you wanted to turn the difficulty down. So, no. I don't turn the difficulty down. I just get very stubborn. That was a lot of damage right there. That I really can't afford to do that often. that whole just taking a giant pile of damage. Okay. So yeah, we are definitely getting better at the boss. I'm in a bad spot for this attack. Yeah, if I get stuck between the boss and the wall, especially on that rock attack, then I'm not really in great shape. Though I am also not really in great shape right now anyways, because I'm out of heals. And also the boss has not a ton of variety to their attacks, but it is certainly enough to keep them terrifying and interesting at the same time. Honestly, I think staying closer to them during the big rock attack is, like, outside the range of the circle is probably the play, because that means I can deal a little bit of extra damage to them. I think I can fire off one more Glacial Fist. Yeah, I think I can fire off one more Glacial Fist when that happens. And yeah, this boss is proving to be a challenge. Also, that I should not have taken damage to that. Okay, I am taking a lot more damage than I really can afford to take from phase 1. Yeah, was okay. Not very. That was not a very clean attempt. Maybe I stretched my hand out a little bit before the next attempt. Yeah, this boss is tricky. Mostly just because they hit like a giant robot smacking a presumably approximately young teenage girl getting smacked by a giant robot. So I suppose it does also kind of track that we are taking an absurd amount of damage given. Well, when you think about it like that, they are giant robot 15 in the game. So taking a giant pile of damage is honestly something. I think I'd honestly be slightly more concerned if we weren't taking a giant pile of damage, even if that does still mean that the boss is quite good at dealing a lot of damage to us. those rocks always fly out in the same pattern. I'm noticing. I'm noticing that the rocks always fly out at us in the same pattern. Which is... because that means they're dodgeable. Yeah, that means that there's safe zones that we can kind of use to not take damage when we're closer by. Oh, that's fascinating. I like... also, still puts up a shield when he's doing that attack. I'm gonna heal at the phase transition just for safety's sake. Yeah, just for safety's sake, I'm gonna heal at the phase transition. I jumped right into that attack. Which is not great, honestly. So I do still... yeah, I need to make sure I'm going to use the safety windows. I need to actually be standing in a spot where I'm not going to take a bunch of damage. Oh, right. Right, Glacial Fist... right. Glacial Fist can actually do some freeze. Temporarily freeze the boss. I had forgotten about that. Okay, because then I can fire off another attack. I definitely just ate that attack to the face when I couldn't afford to do that. Okay. Yeah, this boss is definitely coming down to the wire. Oh, I didn't have my owl out that time, I don't think. Yeah, the owl is passive damage I can deal, which does come in quite, or yeah, the passive damage from the owl does hate, because I really, yeah, every like little bit of, every tick of damage is honestly super helpful. Okay, I need to stand like there. Yeah, it's like that right there is a safe-ish spot. Yeah, it's like these bosses, especially on the hard difficulty, seem to basically require me to be not perfect, but pretty darn close. Yeah, pretty darn close to perfect. Seems to be what these bosses are, or what this boss is asking of me. Yeah, I do not want to be stuck between them and the wall. Also, my finger gets very tired from how long I have to spend pressing the R1 button for the passive attack here. Or for my... it's not... I suppose it's not my passive attack, it's my pressure attack. Yeah. Okay, I do need a little bit of space in order to get away from them, especially in phase 3. Yeah, the pressure ability being on R1 does just make it a little bit tiring for my finger to constantly holding down that one particular button on the controller. Okay, because yeah, I can be a little bit closer to the boss than I thought I could be, which does mean I can deal a bit of extra damage. I want to not be standing close to them at every point in time, though. Because yeah, I do still want to be able to like get away for a temporary breather while I'm not a ton of damage to them. I wonder what the freeze % chance is. And I'm also kind of figuring out exactly how far I can be from the boss when they're doing the rock attack to not get just destroyed. Because I think it's like right there-ish, because there is a small safe zone that I can stand in. Yeah, there is a small safe zone I can stand in. Okay, we did just trigger a new... or we did just trigger phase 3, and we're right now... Okay, I want to heal when I have a good chance to. Because I need to keep my pressure ability going when I have the chance. I need to definitely keep my pressure ability going when I have the chance. Because the chip damage does... Yeah, the chip damage does add up. Yeah, the chip damage definitely adds up after a while. I'm close. I'm definitely close. I'm going to use my heal. Because I think if I stand about here... Okay, there we go. That only took 15, 20 attempts, give or take. I'll take it. That was not an easy boss fight. We can tune, and as far as I could tell, there's not really much in the way of two-phase bosses. It isn't safe here. Townsfolk aren't allowed. Thank you for saving me. Homunculus or not, you shouldn't go too deep into the lower stratum. If you find yourself in danger, look for the untainted white flowers. My memory isn't so good. I wonder, will I remember? Here, take this flower necklace. Wear it so you'll never forget. If you're ever in trouble, I will come for you where the flowers bloom. The text on those cutscenes scrolls very, very fast for me to read out loud. Homunculi work for humans. My friends. I want to help the homunculi too. Please, lend me your strength. We do kind of get, like, double... Yeah, we actually talk in this game. Ooh. Down plus square. Dive while airborne with the aid of Garm. Diving through growths in the floor will open new paths, causing damage to enemies in your way and destroying their parts. I've seen several of these platforms on the ground in various areas. So I think it's quite useful. Okay, so it does want me to just use that as like a little mini tutorial. Yeah, sometimes you have to go up higher, it looks like. Are you friendly or hostile? You are friendly. I want to pick up that item. Ooh, unidentified amplifier. I think that's what I needed to unlock the third of my primary attacks. Please, leave me be. I feel liberated, even though I no longer have a purpose. I feel slightly bad. I feel slightly bad for a lot of these enemies. Okay, I can still definitely just get defeated by the common enemies literally anywhere in the game because they all deal a lot of damage. Yeah, even the common enemies are still a major threat to my survivability, to my survival rates. Ooh, we have new talk cutscene. Precious memories must be treasured. Can't lose them. If forget, remember again. I'll always be by your side. I like that character. I do quite like that character. We did also just get this ability item. I wonder if I'm gonna equip that one for my primary attack instead of the other one and just see what it looks like. Ooh, that's a very wide attack area. Yeah, that's a very wide, large attack area, which I think I like. And I'm guessing it still lets me air stall as well. Yep, I can still definitely air stall, but it's a much wider range of attack, which I feel is going to be, given how little I want to be right up next to enemies in this game due to just their damage output, the larger the area of attack I have on my primary attack, I think the happier I am. Because yeah, that can even hit them like through floors and stuff a lot more easily than the other attack. And it's not the other really critical point is that this one, unlike the third version of low attack, Because if the attack takes forever to complete, then it's also not very useful. Yeah, if the attack takes forever, it's also pretty not useful. So I really like that. I should always keep the owl out to areas. I do want the item. I'm in here because I want that item that's in the floor. Of course, there's also quite a few enemies in the way. I mean, I suppose if I jump down, I'm still not 100% sure what I'm using scrap to unlock, but the game told me I can collect it. And it does show up as one of the 3 types of currency on the map. I got a lot of fragments because I haven't really spent them on anything, because most of them are just like aesthetic unlocks and not actually items. Or like little bits like character artwork or whatnot. Ooh, 5 extra health is huge. Huge. There's also a floor over here that I can break now. Yeah, 5 extra health is like a massive upgrade in this game. Despite us having a lot more than 5 health for sure, that really adds up. It really does add up. Just the like, because I think I'm too far down in order to break that floor from here, so I need to, I'm guessing, defeat these enemies and climb up this room. Theory, at least. An enemy that's actually still intact. Was there something up here? I think I already got whatever was up here. Okay. Does not mean that I can't break that floor from somewhere. Maybe I need to jump off the right side instead of the left side of this upper box. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure I just used my heal charge right there. I suppose we're going somewhere else. Ooh, magic vial. That's open. And now I have this pathway also. I kind of want to check the new pathway we have open over here, because the that other pathway that we kind of poked our head into is mildly terrifying. Also, I can buy things. I'm going to purchase the protective carapace while I'm here, because I think that might... The ability to have a parry that's not tied to an ability might, even if it's not damage, still be helpful. Stay back. Don't come any closer. Okay. Yeah, hard to believe that a place such as this exists beneath the old city market. Why does this look like a high-level area? Difficult than the crystalline realm. Though I suppose I can also equip more relics, because I have 2 more relic slots now. Yeah, I'm gonna equip... I like the healing damage reduce. I'm gonna deal more damage in the air, because I do deal a decent number of aerial. I do that quite a bit, especially while exploring. I'm gonna do... I think I might need to like fully reconnect. Yeah, my internet's like repeatedly disconnecting at the moment. I'm gonna just... Yeah, I'm just gonna completely redo my connection to my internet. Because sometimes that helps. If like... Because I'm not close to the router, I have to stream over Wi-Fi, and occasionally it gets a little bit funky, goofy, and I just need to like reconnect for it to just work. Okay, if I stay away from everything hostile, I slightly survive. just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I really like this upgraded attack. I nearly drowned, but an attuner came to my aid. All of us that were cast aside, she understood how it felt. Because I can't swim under the water yet. It's not an ability I have unlocked. Yeah, swimming in the water is not an ability I have unlocked at the current moment, which makes this a little bit concerning of an area to be in, given how much water there is with enemies in it. Okay, my internet might be doing slightly better now. Do not dispose of homunculi in the waterway. Homunculi of dubious nature have been sighted. Turning back is recommended. Milius homunculus guard corps. I mean, my goal is to save the homunculi, so I highly suspect that actually exploring is possibly actually a good idea. I can't go up, but I can go down. And not every enemy deals a absurd amount of damage to me, because some of them can't hit me before I take them out. That is not a respite. I'm kind of looking for a respite in this area somewhere, maybe, because that would serve as a fast travel point. Okay, there is a rat spawning machine, apparently. I'm not entirely sure what I think of that. I'm also kind of wondering if maybe it's off to the left, because I think I can make that. Yeah, I can definitely make that jump back up, because we can. Okay, maybe I can't make that jump back up. Oh, I can definitely make that jump over there. I just need to be significantly more careful. There we go. Yeah, I can do a lot of this very janky movement in the air, which does give me quite the capacity to do stuff, or to just move around. That's a lot of materials. 350 materials is a very, very good number of them. That looks like... Oh, those things I was about to say. That looks like a landmine. I believe my assessment of the situation was rather accurate. I believe that my assessment of the situation of these being landmines is rather accurate. Just given by their nature. Something about this place feels soothing. I'm also out of health. I'm also slightly out of health. Slightly very much out of health right now. I want to explore this area before I explore the Crystalline Realm, I think. Though it is a not entirely trivial to traverse pathway. Which is, I think, why I want to explore it first, because it feels like there's something useful down here, given that this game tends to put good things in difficult to get to areas. Or I guess, I mean, it is a halfway decently designed game, so that makes sense. That the difficult to traverse areas probably have things that make them worth traversing. Yeah, so long as I don't get zapped by the zappy things, I'm not in terrible shape coming through this room. Because yeah, none of the enemies in that room are particularly mobile. And then the couple of enemies in this room are also, at least the ones along the upper portion, aren't super terribly strong either. I need to make sure I have the owl out because of the extra damage that they let me deal. Yeah, because if I can take out the rat machine, I can also just keep running bit by bit. Okay, does this take me up? That does not take me up. That makes me slightly sad, but that makes me think I can probably get pulled down through here. Okay, yeah, I can definitely get pulled down through there. Yeah, the rat machine, the rats from the rat machine do not like the water. Which gives me a very easy way to take it out. Almost no enemies in this game like actually jumping in the water. So 250 materials is still very, very useful. Yeah, almost no enemies in this game like the water. They almost all get basically one shot if they fall in the water, which is a useful thing for just survivability rate because that means I can throw enemies or trick them into jumping into water or whatnot and deal a decent chunk of damage to them. By a decent chunk of damage, I mean like deal all the damage I need to them. Yeah, the rats are a little bit concerning. Yeah, I take a lot of damage if I get caught by the rat machine. Though I think if I loop down, I think if I go down the main pillar and then around instead of to the right, I avoid one of the rat spawners. I'm calling them rats because they look like rats. I'm pretty sure they're probably something that's inspired by rats, not actually rats themselves. That seems to also be something that kind of happens in this game. And I will always take the slight little bits of extra experience I can get from some of these enemies. Because I suspect I'm in a relatively high level area with not being at relatively high level. given the nature of how much damage these enemies actually are dealing. Okay, I need to not... Yeah, I'm trying to not get hit too much because, like I said, everything in this area is actually, like, quite dangerous. Oh, I do have to go through the rat room. Okay, I can... Oh, I can't even climb back up all the way from here. Okay, I guess we're going to check out the left path again. To just improvise and adapt. Yeah, improvise, adapt, and try to survive whatever this area is. It's definitely not an easy area. In case in point, and I also haven't found a respite down there. Something I find very, very interesting is the lack of respites I'm seeing in this area. It's for the difficulty and the fact that it is accessible. Though I do suppose getting into this area did require us to defeat Garm first. So the game knows we're at least somewhat capable of combat. And I'm guessing it's probably letting it take the training gloves off. Or the training gloves off at least a little bit. And throw some significantly more difficult enemies our way. Which is... It is workable. It is still mildly concerning just how quickly my health bar gets drained, even by, like, common enemies in this game. Hey, Alexander, welcome to stream. We are repeatedly dying to the common enemies in this area. Because they deal a lot of damage. Can I stun the rats here from a distance? I do know that they are going to keep infinitely spawning from the rat spawner. Which deals a lot of damage. Then I want to go down here. Because yeah, even the common enemies are already, like, exceptionally terrifying. let alone any slightly stronger enemies. Yeah, everything deals like a massive chunk of my health bar. And like even like the weakest of the common enemies are already feel like they're on the same approximate level as like me as the player character in terms of strength, and they're just like a common like rat enemy just hanging around. And there's like 50 of them and one of me. Which is terrifying. Okay, I need to focus on the rat spawner first before the flying enemy, because the rat spawner spawns many enemies, all of which deal a large chunk of damage. There's another rat spawner down here, but I think I can take out the flying enemy on the way down and then take out the rat spawner from the ledge. That was not exactly what I intended to do, but that worked out very well. Ooh, it's an elevator. I think the elevator just goes back up, though. Okay, there, and then there's another rat spawner. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my health up, but it's also not working very well. For humans, toiling until cores break. Yeah, there's the homunculi down here seem to be a little bit not happy with being down here. Okay, let's not get defeated by that enemy. Okay, there are a lot of very strong enemies down here still. What is my best method? My best method is apparently to run out of health again. I'm trying to attack. Because that seems to be happening a rather large amount. I am guessing that the area is probably expecting you to beat Crystalline Realm first. Before... What is it called, this area? Subterranean Waterway. But I want to complete this area. Because it feels like I'm going to get something good. Hopefully get something good from completing this area. This also happens to be full of a large quantity of enemies that deal a very large amount of damage, which is problematic. But then again, hard game on hard difficulty is going to be hard. So I guess I'm getting what I signed up for. I guess I am getting exactly what I signed up for from the game. Okay, I need to take out the flying enemy without letting it hit me. But if I go too far to the left, I fall onto the poison goop cloud enemy. And then the poison goop cloud enemy is also not great for my survival rate. Okay, I want to slowly... Yeah, the problem with the rats is that they jump and deal, like, not the biggest amount of damage, but still 45 health, or 45 damage is still a relatively large chunk of my health pool. I wonder if I can break a lot of the rat spawners in the vertical room using Glacial Fist from above. Because if I can do that, that would help. That would help at least a little bit. If I can defeat some of these enemies from above using Glacial Fists. Because that attack does go down and it can occasionally freeze enemies, which I think might help my survival rate against the rat spawners, which are, I suppose they do count, also technically count as infinite health because I heal when I deal damage to things. Or I heal when I defeat enemies, but also, that got my health a little bit lower than I would have liked. Yeah, that definitely got my health lower than I would have liked. Which is not fun. Because, yeah, things deal a very large amount of damage. And I am now at basically 0 health. So how are you so bad at the auto aim? Yeah, like some of these enemies are just so bad at the actually like auto aiming at me. It's kind of hilarious at times. Okay, I have basically 0 health. Now I actually have 0 health. I technically defeated one more enemy than I did last time. I wonder if maybe just ignoring some of the rat spawners and just running past them might be the better play. Because that could be safer. Because I can... Hold on, hold on, I thought that might have been an item there for a second. Okay, do not attempt to run past that first enemy. Because by the time I get far enough past them, I've already hit their electric cloud and taken damage. Which is not great. I really cannot afford to take damage. It is progress technically. This is very true. Also, I apparently can't fully read the chat right now. There we go. It is technically progress. It's just not the permanent kind. Only I gotta keep the owl. The owl ability every time, like, gets deactivated every time I run out of health, but never deactivates itself because it's like a passive bit of damage that I can take advantage of, which is kind of an interesting mix. If I get into the water, the rats can't actually hurt me, because if the rats fall in the water, they take about 99999 damage and just instantly get defeated. Which is something I kind of want to try to take advantage of more than I have been. So I am in this room with 0 health upgrade, or with like 1 heal at this point, not all 3, which is also mildly concerning, just in a different way. Because yeah, I can spend a lot of time in the air as well. This game gives me a very high capacity to air stall. Yeah, I feel like just avoiding enemies in that room might be the play. Because every time I try to not avoid enemies in this room, I instantly get obliterated. But I can just run through the room and avoid everything like a little baby. And you know what? If it works, it works. There is something alive in the water. I don't like that. That is a freaky looking enemy down there. Yeah, I mean, hey, anything that works is a valid strategy, and I apparently should just not go in the water because I can't attack in the water, and there's enemies down there. I just saw a purple item show up on the map. I don't have enough verticality to get up there. I have a surprising amount of ability to just move horizontally through the air, but not a huge capacity. I feel like I can get that. I see the item, or I see the little grappling hook. Yeah, I see the little grappling hook items that I can't actually use because I don't have grappling. But that feels attainable if I can do air stalling correctly. And I really want the item. Yeah, that feels incredibly doable. Yeah, it totally is. And 5 health is definitely worth the effort. I'm pretty sure it's and the respite. I'm kind of thinking that the game was expecting me to have grappling hook to get up there, but also the game gives me a lot of movement jank abilities. And I will absolutely abuse the movement jank abilities. There were a lot of other homunculi kids at the subterranean testing site, too. We all had the same hair and looked alike. I thought of them as my brothers. You were there, too. We spent a lot of time together. We have amnesia. You don't remember, do you? I'm sorry. All the same, thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, this is actually a like warp point that we now have somewhere in the subterranean testing site area, or the subterranean, somewhere in whatever area we're in right now. It's also apparently just a person laying on the floor. Huh? In a tuner. It appears we were too late. I don't think they're alive. What is this? Blighted note. To whoever has the misfortune of coming across this letter, do me the honor of seeing to it that my arcane instrument is left in good hands. For someone that spent so much of her life running away, things down here were pretty good. There's a cruel finality to death, but my belongings will serve as proof that I lived. This will prove most useful. We should be grateful. Her last wish, we should honor it, for the sake of those who remain. Let's go. We have the ability to swim now. That's actually nice. That's actually like a legitimately tangible bit of progress for once. Because we don't get very many of those. And we don't get very many like actually tangible bits of progress. Because this game is pretty good at just like not actually letting me make progress. There's something up there. There's definitely something up there. I wonder if I can get up there also without grappling hook. Okay, that does not feel doable. Yeah, that one feels distinctly less doable without grappling hook, which I'm assuming we're going to unlock at some point, given I've seen several areas that are requesting it. And 400 upgrade materials. Yeah, because that just seemed distinctly not makeable with my current ability set. I can swim up here, though. And that does... Oh, I can dash in the water to move up faster. I like being able to move faster. We're kind of getting pulled around a little bit in this area. Okay, I can pick up 20% damage increase in water. Yeah, so some things are like movement. I look at movement and I'm just like, oh, I can totally movement jank that. Okay, note to self, don't be close to those things when they explode. That was a lot of damage. Like that was not a small amount of damage. That was a concerningly large amount of damage right there. Okay, I can swim up, but I think they can also swim up after me. Yeah, these things, I do not want to be close to them. Because they go kaboom and deal about 9 billion damage at once. Actually, it's only like 150 damage, but when you have like 150 health, that basically feels like an unlimited amount of damage. Which is kind of terrifying. Because I can kind of trick them somewhat. Yeah, I can kind of, yeah. Exploding yourself is bad for your health. Who could have thought? Yeah, who would have thought? Do not eat explosions for breakfast. They are not part of a healthy diet. Yeah, they're not part of a healthy diet. Where am I going? Okay, there's exits out the bottom side of this room that I haven't taken. I think I want to take out the electric zappy things from under the water so that I can then take out this rat spawner from the water where the rats can't hit me. That feels like a perfectly good strategy. Yeah, we have this pathway over here full of explodey landmine that doesn't want to explode. Come on. There you go. I technically survived getting hit by one of the explosions point blank range, but it also took me down to almost 0 health. Okay, so apparently, yeah, exploding yourself is bad for your health. Though I can actually get to that room, I think, more easily from up above. Maybe not. Because there's also... Maybe I go to the right and then come in from this entrance. Because, yeah, this area is not the easiest area ever. The enemies here definitely hurt. Do not try to avoid the flying guys because you'll jump in the water and right into one of the electric things and run out of health. Appears to be the lesson learned from that attempt. And you know what? Fair enough, game. Oh, it's the same enemy that does the big attacks and the small attacks. Because I notice that sometimes I get like the 3 smaller spheres of damage, and sometimes I get 1 bigger one. Though also now I just realized that I have to climb back up this room if I'm going to come at it from this direction, which is mildly terrifying as a prospect. Because there are a rather large number of things in this room that appear to not want me intact. We can actually swim, which is the very nice thing we have now discovered as an ability. Because, yeah, I can... The problem is I can't tell when the landmine things are going to go kaboom versus when they're just going to sit there and look at me. Because it's like, sometimes they trigger instantly, and sometimes they're like on like a massive delay, which is... I'm not entirely sure what determines their behavior. I'm not entirely sure what determines their behavior. There is an item over here. I want that item because whatever it is feels like it's probably useful. Ooh. Components that can be used to unlock and enhance Nola's abilities. That's an attack upgrade. I will take an attack upgrade. I still can't... I don't think I can climb up there yet. I definitely can't climb up there yet. There's this pathway up to the left, and then there's a pathway... I don't think I could make it through anything in this room. I'm just gonna go double check that I definitely need the double jump ability. Or not the double jump ability, the grappling hook ability. I already have double jump. That I can't get there with this double jump and movement jank. Because it almost feels like it should be... maybe be possible, but that also might just be me being overly ambitious with what I can actually do with my movement in this game. Because, yeah, it almost feels kind of like I might be able to make it up that. Though, maybe not. Because I don't really have much in the way of vertical mobility. And it almost feels like I either need like a grappling hook to use the grappling hook thing, or I need like a wall cling to reset my jump on the backside of that platform. Is kind of what I'm thinking, because there's still something in that room. I think that room's easier accessed from the top. Yeah, I think that room's probably easier accessed from the top side. Because then I can just kind of traverse some of these areas as well. Okay, we are actually making progress. The game also just happens to be on the difficult side. Okay, I do not want to be too close to the zappy thing when they go zappy. So I can actually defeat the zappy thing now. Which feels very, very good to actually be able to attack enemies. Though I also got to line the water. They still deal a lot of damage. It hurts. I don't know how often people get electrocuted by actually zapping themselves even from something just like an electrical outlet. But it is extraordinarily painful to accidentally electrocute yourself. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Yeah, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. And I don't think the doctor would recommend getting electrocuted either. Anyways, this room is not too terribly difficult to get through. Though this room, we got here and then immediately got instantly obliterated by the fact that there's both a rat spawner and an electric thing right next to each other. I should probably use the attack upgrade item at some point here, because I can actually break those floors now. Okay, I can break those floors. I can also get slightly zapped by the zappy thing and run out of health instantly. I feel I do want to go through that room. I do definitely want to go through that room, but it is a dangerous room. Because we really are not the strongest thing in this game. And far from it. I got too close to the electric zappy one while it was electric zappying. Or at least I'm assuming it's electric because it looks like electricity, and I got way too close to that one also. Yeah, it looks like electricity and it gives me the stun effect. Therefore, it is probably an electric attack of some sort. Which is honestly not as problematic if I just don't take damage to it. But the key point there is don't take damage to it. Yeah, the key point is to not take a bunch of damage on the traversal over to the tricky room. Because I don't have that much healing capacity. Can I just take this out from a distance? I think I can kind of take out the zappy thing from a distance. Though I also took a couple of hits from the rats, which is deeply unfortunate. Can I just like... Okay, I can't... I think if I get down there with my healing actually intact is probably the correct play. Yeah, probably the correct play is to get down there with my healing actually intact, instead of losing all my healing trying to traverse the easy rooms before the difficult room, so that I can actually focus on attacking things in the difficult room. Instead of just trying to survive, though. In my defense, in that earlier area, attacking or just running through one of those earlier rooms did get me to the dive ability intact. Yeah, I kind of am not wanting to get too close to the zappy things when at all possible. Also, I jumped into that poison goop cloud before it went away. Oh, because Glacial Fist kind of just travels in a straight line in the water. That's actually kind of interesting. Because normally it's like a jump up and like slams down, but in the water it's like just a straight line attack. Which is... I think I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Also, there is something down in that room, apparently, that I just never, somehow didn't manage to not notice before. Yeah, like sometimes I can like walk right up to the mines and they just don't do anything, and sometimes if I'm like even in the same room as them, they activate, which I'm legitimately very much not sure what determines how those behave. Okay, one room at a time. Take out the rat spawner, heal. Take out the electric zappy thing, use Glacial Fist to freeze two of the rats so I can get closer to the rat spawner and take it out. Okay. Is there another one on this screen? There is another one down here. Take out the rat spawner first, I think? Take out the rat spawner first and then take out the electric zappy thing. Because I need more height. But guess what? There are platforms. That the mines each have their own personality. That they really do. Yeah, the mines really do just have a personality, which is honestly kind of amusing. I want to take out these enemies here before I try to movement jank my way up here, because that also definitely feels doable. Yeah, there we go. Is that... Ooh. Increases materials obtained from breaking objects by 15%. An arcane instrument created by House Frost in ancient times. The eye sealed within is said to have been extracted from a beast dwelling in the Crimson Forest and reacts to magic. Originally conceived as part of a research effort, it was deemed unethical by the Sorcerer's Village and subsequently disposed of. I mean, I suppose I did put an eyeball in a jar. I think I might understand the Sorcerer's Village's approach there. Okay, that does just take me back to the same room, though. So either there's something else over here, or I do need to finally stop putting off the crystalline mines. One or the other. Because I don't think I have enough vertical mobility to get up. I don't think I have enough vertical mobility to jump up in the main room, but I might be able to like swim up from the right now. Because I do have the extra movement. Are you gonna zappy? You're gonna zappy. Okay. Sometimes the zappy things are at least more consistent than their explodey counterparts. Not by much, but they are more consistent. And a little bit of consistency goes a long ways in this game. Because everything is a major threat. Yeah, like even like the fact that the game made immobile enemies something I'm like legitimately terrified of is honestly kind of impressive. Just in a slightly weird way. Okay, so there are rat spawner. There's a rat spawner over to the right somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the rats never seem to just exist without a spawner around. Ah, yeah, I can swim up over here. Because I actually have the swim ability. There is another landmine right there. I'm not entirely sure what the swim ability's entire purpose is, which gives me more ability to craft things, because the grimoires are all just the ability to craft stuff, which is useful. Yeah, that is a useful ability. And then that room is also now complete. What did I miss over in this room? I know what I missed in this room because I can't get up there. But what did I miss over here? And these rooms were also missed. Or this room was also missed because I couldn't flood things. And I don't think I have enough movement to get whatever missing items I have in those rooms. Because yeah, even like every little item is like actually legitimately extremely useful. Which is why I'm putting so much effort into actually like exploring and completing rooms, because even like a 5 health upgrade is already like a major boost in this game. Because this game is a little bit terrifying at times, just from how strong everything actually is. Okay, I need to take out the flying enemy first, because I can definitely defeat these enemies that are like along the ground here. I just have to be very careful when I'm doing so. But yeah, I suspect I missed a secret pathway somewhere in this room. It's kind of my working theory. Yeah, it's kind of my working theory that I missed a secret pathway in the walls somewhere. Everything is always in the walls. That would be the secret pathway in the walls that I missed. That looks like a boss fight. Okay, that is not a boss fight. That is just a normal enemy. He was standing there ominously looking like a boss fight. which that does give me another item. Is this a... Ooh, Chloe's bracelet. Improves stats, primarily defense. A distinctive bracelet engraved with the name of an attuner, Chloe. Judging by the intricate craftsmanship, it was likely a gift from a loved one. I'm not sure I particularly... Yeah, but since 5 health is actually 15, it's actually 20 health because I also have the base health. But yeah, it really does add up. Because I'm like very healing oriented. I want to see what's in the water in this room over to the left. Because like I have a very healing oriented build right now. Let's not run right into the enemy. Because yeah, my build is very, very healing oriented. Hello, welcome to stream. I'm playing Ender Magnolia, and I'm currently collecting a couple of items because I am putting off exploring the next area because the next area is scary. From the very, very difficult perspective. I'm pretty sure there's also something probably alive in the water over in this area. Ooh, I got some scrap out of that one also. I still don't actually know what the scrap is useful for. But yeah, even a tiny bit of health is like a major, major benefit for me. Because yeah, things deal so much damage in this game. It's like a single weak enemy can already basically zero out my entire health pool on their own, which is just it's a terrifying way for the game to have been designed. Is there a secret pathway over here? There's not a secret pathway over here. Did I come over here thinking if the swimming would let me get someplace new? Am I wrong about that? Oh, there is a pathway down at the bottom here. The trash dump for the upper and central stratums. Nobody ever comes down here. Okay, apparently I can't attack those enemies from the front. Because if I try to attack them from the front, I just hit their ball of... I'm not sure I want to question what that's a sphere made out of. But this appears to be another area? I was trying to put off going to a new area, and I found a new area anyways. Apparently the game really just wants me to go to new areas. Yeah, they kind of remind me of, like... I know some types of beetles like to collect things. Like, just collect balls of just garbage and gunk. These kind of remind me of those a little bit. These enemies at least aren't too terrible to jump over. Which I suppose that's kind of fair, given that jumping over them seems to be the only way to actually attack them. Yeah, that one has a big ball of like metal or iron or steel or something. Why is there a ceiling spider? Thank you, Ender Magnolia. Well, why is there a ceiling spider? I still have minor freakouts about the ceiling spiders from Ender Lilies, because they were kind of one of the more tricky enemies in like the crypts of Ender Lilies, and apparently they have made a return. Yay, exploring, finding destination. That is fair. that is entirely fair. That a little bit of exploring definitely will give you more places to go. Okay, those spiders hit hard, and that is water that deals damage. And I'm now out of health. Huh. Because that is definitely a new area. And that is also a rather terrifying new area. Yeah, the Ender games just want you to experience how it feels to see a spider on your ceiling. You know, I suppose you're not wrong. Yeah, random spiders on your ceiling are a little bit terrifying. Normally, I don't normally see spiders in my ceiling. Normally, I see spiders when they either crawl across my foot or they crawl across my monitor. I am honestly not sure which I prefer. Because at least the ones that crawl across my monitor, I can't really get rid of, and they just wander off to I don't know where. The ones in my foot, I can at least squish. Though I actually don't squish spiders very often. I'll just kind of flick them off my foot and let them go on their way. These spiders are accurate to IRL, don't worry about it. Maybe if you're in Australia, I think it might be an accurate Australia spider. I'm going to try the right path this time instead of the left path, because I did notice that there were 2 pathways out of this room. I did notice that there were 2 pathways out of this room. Because there was one more to the right as well that led to somewhere else. Yeah, these enemies aren't terrible to defeat. They are just a little bit funky to actually find, though. Because, yeah, this is another pathway. It also has ceiling spiders. Because why not? and poison enemies. Ceiling spiders and poison cloud enemies. And the poison clouds deal a lot of damage. I'm just mostly concerned about the ceiling spiders because they just like in Ender Lilies, there is a secret pathway at the left, by the way, that I can see. Because, yeah, just like in Ender Lilies, they have a ranged attack. Apparently, I had a very hard time getting up onto that platform. Oh, this is a very long secret pathway. Complete with an enemy halfway through. Yeah. Secret pathways complete with enemies. And an item. Oh, we always appreciate items. Damage increase to staggered enemies dealt by 15%. Yeah, should be able to adjust difficulty. I am aware of this. I turned the game's difficulty to hard, and I'm kind of slightly regretting it, but I'm also stubborn enough to not turn it back. A pendant belonging to a cleaner stationed at the final disposal site, where garbage from the upper and lower stratums is discarded. The homunculi tasked with cleaning duties often find themselves assailed by the constant shower of falling detritus, and have developed abnormalities as a result. But yeah, I turned the difficulty up to hard intentionally because I like a challenge, and I kind of regret it, but I'm also too stubborn to turn the difficulty down from hard. Because, I mean, worst case, it's really funny to watch me repeatedly die to the same common enemies over and over again. Or at least, maybe not. It's funny to watch me die to the bosses. And I do like the challenge because that makes it actually, like, legitimately good feeling when you finally defeat an enemy or make progress, because you're actually having to fight like tooth and nail for it. Turn it up more. I did see the sliders have are custom sliders. and that hard was not the maximum on any of the sliders, which has me concerned. Because I'm already having a hard enough time on just regular hard difficulty. Granted, I do like playing difficult games, even if they absolutely destroy me most of the time. So I suppose it would be right up my alley to turn the game's difficulty up even higher. Because I like the challenge. Most of the time I like the challenge. Let me take out the ceiling spiders first. Okay, take out the ceiling spiders, get out of the gunk. Okay, I did not intend to fall all the way down there. Yeah, maybe I will turn the difficulty up at some point. I don't think I wanted to turn up. I mean, I could turn up enemy damage because it's not like they're already basically one or two shotting me anyways. Where did that spider go? Hold on. I'm not sure where that spider went. Oh, is that a friend? Ooh, there's an item up here. Cleaning duties. Please stand back. That's a lot of materials. We were all thrown out, but I have lots of work. I am happy. I'm not sure I'm happy for them, given they seem to be somewhat stuck on... Oh gosh. That elevator took me right into several enemies in a row. Yeah, where did the spider go? Accurate to IRL. You're not wrong. I did not expect that elevator to go horizontally into a bunch of enemies, and I probably should have, given I think its track looked like it was going horizontally. Okay, one enemy at a time. This area is a lot easier now that I've defeated a couple of other areas first. Cause yeah, I don't fully understand how the difficulty scaling in this game works, but it does generally seem like if I take like the areas that I've been to are easier, even though I'm pretty sure I could have gone to the areas in any order. So I'm wondering if the game's like tracking the order I've like opened areas for difficulty scaling purposes, or if I'm just like reading way too much into how difficult the areas feel relative to each other. Both of which are entirely valid possibilities. But yeah, slowly making progress. I now know where I need to go. I did also see on that horizontal elevator ride of doom a like hole in the ceiling that I wonder if it has an item in it. Because it almost felt like there was like a secret pathway in the ceiling above the elevator. Which, if there is, that would be super nice to get some new item. It's just, as always, gotta first survive long enough to get there and look at the item. Because this room is complete with ceiling spider. This room is complete with the ceiling spiders. Yeah, these spiders are... I'm still not sure if they look like... if they're actually spiders or not, but they vaguely remind me of spiders enough that I'm calling them spiders. Yeah, they remind me enough of spiders that I'm calling them spiders at the very least. Okay. I'm going to take those guys out so that if I have to run back from missing a jump, I can... and still be fine-ish. Okay, these enemies... Because yeah, one of the ceiling spiders over here just kind of like just vanished. Which is what caused me concern. Because I know I defeated the thing on the right, but I didn't think I had defeated that right side ceiling spider. Can I take out the spiders a little bit more carefully? Okay, oh, there is just a platform down here. Okay, yeah, I can definitely just take them out from that platform. And then I can swim up, because it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like there's a secret pathway right there. Because that looks like a opening. If I think I just need to jump at the right time, but I definitely think I can get up there. Yeah, I can go across. I keep like jumping just a tiny bit early. I keep jumping just like a couple of frames too early. Okay, no, is that really just a solid roof? Oh, I need to jump up there and ground pound down, I bet. Because I'm betting that this is not going to be enough height yet. Nope, that is not enough height. You're going to try to take out the final boss? I'll get there eventually. Yeah, I'll get to the final boss eventually. But I suspect I still have given I'm only like level 29 and still only in lower stratum, I'm guessing I have quite a bit left. Increases damage dealt to enemies inflicted with status effects by 15%. Claws that once belonged to a homunculus. Declan surrounded himself with the homunculi, most pleasing to his eye. It is said that they provided him with both company and protection. I suppose that makes sense. I'm also taking a lot of damage because I'm in poison water. The fact that it just like drops me into poison water is honestly kind of funny. Ooh. I kind of wish I had found this sooner. But it isn't. I also have a new bracelet, which would be. I think that's more health, more defense. I'm not sure if it's better because that is 10 minus 5, 40. I like the heal potency though, is kind of the thing. And I also did pick up several new pendants. I'm honestly still not sure if the Helix Crystal is actually worth keeping equipped. Because it's not the most. I don't know the different endings of Ender Magnolia. I am gonna 100% the game at some point though. So probably all of them. I suspect a number of homunculi have been disposed of at the final disposal site. Thinking of the homunculus graveyard? Is that even real? Don't the recycling homunculi dismantle and recycle everything down here? I have a feeling that's not actually happening. They don't appear to be functioning as intended at present, though. It ain't just the disposal site that sees a shower of trash from the upper and central stratums. Folks in the lower stratum are used to having trash rain down all the time. It ain't right. The way they treat both homunculi and other humans. It's like, I'm still also pretty early in the game, I suspect, given I still haven't actually made it out of the lower stratum, and I'm assuming that I can make it out of the lower stratum at some point. I missed something over here to the right. Yeah, and I do appreciate the not spoiling. Because the game feels like it's probably still a lot of fun to play pretty blind. Because I'm not really sure what to expect at most points. I did 100% Ender Lilies before starting Ender Magnolia, so I have at least a vague semblance of an idea of how the developers think about the game, about game design, which has carried over fairly well into Ender Magnolia so far. Because, I mean, same developers, they're gonna think of things in at least a similar way to what they did with Ender Lilies, even if I have noticed some differences as well. But it is a fun game so far. Ah, yes. The fish in the water have shields now. Because regular skeletal fish in the water were not scary enough. These ones have to have shields. What is this? Letter in a bottle. Lord Motley, how long has it been since you went missing? Rumor has it that, after Lord Kane's death, yours followed shortly after. Nonetheless, we reject Declan as our new lord, and anxiously await word of your return. May this letter find you, or someone that knows of your whereabouts. Okay, so apparently somebody's missing. I still don't know who Lord Declan is. But apparently somebody went missing? And I'm guessing based off of how the developers tend to approach things with the lore hints, that they may have fallen all the way down here. Maybe. I could also be completely off base. Roller giant orb. Ah, yeah. Ah, yay, boss fight. How do I get through that without taking damage? Because that is a rather large... I mean, they're not wrong. It is a roller with a giant orb. Yeah, at least... Because, yeah, the developers of Yeah, the developers seem to have a... Okay, yeah, okay. That was a lot of damage. The developers seem to have a bit of a habit of putting little lore hints for things that you'll find in an area as notes scattered around that area. Okay, because I need to figure out the best way to not take a bunch of damage to going through the sphere there. Because, yeah, that... The fact that the sphere is this big, I can't really dodge past it is the problem that I'm kind of facing. So I think I just need to stay really close to the enemy, or really close to the boss, so that when they turn around, I can just dodge through only the boss's body and not everything. They don't seem to have the most health, at least. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, this boss doesn't seem to have the most health, which is, I think, a good thing. Yeah, he died to the final boss. That feels like something that would definitely happen. Help me! Did the garbage talk? Did somebody jump into... Did somebody get stuck in the garbage? What an awful thing to say. Even if it isn't entirely untrue. If you don't mind, can you help me out of here? Yes? There's actually just a person in the sphere of garbage. Okay, then. Thank you for saving me. I'm Yarrow, and a tuner. What were you doing inside that ball of garbage? The magic supply system in the lower stratum is broken, which means the central stratum is inaccessible. I came down here to try to find a solution, but, well, you saw what happened. Yeah, they got cleaned up and rolled. What did you have in mind? We're trying to reach the central stratum too. I see. Would you be willing to help repair the magic supply system then? Yeah, I'm guessing I just need to climb all the way up, and that there's something at the top. Up ahead, it's a giant bug-like homunculus whose core is fused with the supply system. But, well, I'm no good with bugs, so... Hey, welcome to Sweet Dream... Fabian? Fabian? Yeah, I'm surprised you made it this far. I thought I'd get over it. But just the size of that thing. Is there a giant bug that I have to go fight now? I don't deserve to be in a tuner. Maybe this pile of garbage is where I belong. Aw. I don't think they belong in the pile of garbage. Leave it to us. We'll take care of it. If you could. I do think they might need to be a little bit more careful where they walk in the future, though. Ooh, new model core. Can be used to unlock and enhance abilities. I'll take more upgrade materials. Never something I'll say no to. That looks like a secret pathway. That is a secret pathway. Ah, yes. The box's attack. Attack of the crates. 600 material. That's a lot of materials as well. I'm gonna go up first. I'm gonna check up first because up feels like a slightly less terrifying path than continuing to just go deeper and deeper into a pile of garbage. At least from my analysis of 30, at least from my 3-second analysis. So there are more ceiling spiders up here. And the ceiling spiders are still terrifying, and I'm out of health. Okay, step 1, be slightly more careful and not walk into the spiders. Turns out that walking inside of the enemy does not do good things to your survival rate. Which is, I suppose, makes sense. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. This is a big room up here. Yeah, this is quite a sizable room. Yeah, this room is definitely quite large. Okay, I'm gonna take out the spiders. Yeah, I'm gonna take out the spiders first. I did not realize that these bugs could throw out like little zappy things. That is certainly new. This one has a new type of sphere. I've never seen one of those big orange ones before. That looks like what I'm assuming are still I'm still assuming those are grappling hooks, just given how they've been laid out elsewhere. I still don't have that ability. I am noticing a lot of them in this area though, so I'm kind of wondering if maybe I get the grappling hook ability at some point down here. Because if there's lots of bugs, maybe it's less of like a grappling hook ability and more of like a string shot ability of some variety. Is something I could at least see being the case. Then again, I could also just be just talking about things that make absolutely no sense, because that's also an entirely valid possibility. Ah yes, skeletal fish with shield. Because skeletal fish is still not terrifying enough. At least the skeletal fish are not... I think I prefer these skeletal fish enemies over the fish enemies from Ender Lilies, because these are a little bit easier to deal with. But are still definitely a legitimate threat. Which main abilities do I have? I think I have all of them unlocked, maybe? No, I have 1 and 3. I have a lot of these unlocked, so I've kind of just been unlocking abilities as I go. And they're definitely useful abilities. Because it's just a little bit of extra damage that I don't have to actively be thinking about, which is... I was about to say, what did I miss in this room? But we have the grappling hooks, so I'm missing something from the grappling hooks. Okay, this right pathway is a lot larger than it's a lot longer than I thought it was as well. I'm gonna explore the entire top before I look at going down into whatever's down there. Because that's also still slightly terrifying how many spiders and other creatures appear to be in this area. Yeah, because all the abilities are generally quite helpful from what I can tell. There's just a lot of them. And it's really hard for me to determine which set of attacks I want to have equipped at any given point in time also. Because I'm quite prone to decision paralysis. Yeah, there are a lot of enemies. You personally like Bombard? I think that was the third one. And I think I had that equipped for a little bit, but then unequipped it because it wasn't as useful against Garm as just the default ability was. Which I struggled a fair bit with the Garm fight. I think Garm is the boss that's given me the most difficulty so far. Probably. I'm gonna clear out... Yeah, I'm trying to clear out enemies as I go here, so I don't have to worry about them as much. I say that as I then run out of health. Because yeah, it does deal a decent chunk of damage to the Garm enemy. I'm guessing there's maybe there's not a respite over there. I want to finish clearing that area, though. I think I just need to be a little bit more careful to not run into the roller balls repeatedly, because that did a lot of damage very quickly. And I can realistically use one heal through this room, because there was the heal charge on the other side. Which was, or is, quite nice. Honestly, I don't need to fight all the enemies in this room, because I'm not trying to beat every enemy. I'm trying to unlock and find whatever the pathway forward actually is. And I definitely don't need to fight everything in this room to make forward progress. Okay, I'm gonna heal before I jump into the water again. I do feel like I want to take the fish out, because I suspect that if the fish swim up behind me too much, then I will wind up taking a bunch of excessive, unnecessary damage. Though also, the fish are not actually that fast. So maybe I can just ignore a lot of the stuff in this room. Yeah, I think I can just ignore a lot of the stuff in that particular room. Okay, because I can take out the rollers one at a time. Yeah, do not get caught in the roller sphere, because those deal more than half my health. Yeah, the fact that the roller spheres deal more than half my health is once again terrifying. Yeah, everything deals so much health. Or deals just so much damage to me on like every single attack, which makes them kind of terrifying to deal with. Okay, I am burning so much health trying to clear this building. Oh, if I break, it's probably safer to come in from the ceiling because I don't have to go through that room. I don't have to go past quite as many enemies there if I come in from the ceiling, but I am going to break that platform before I keep going, though. Yeah, I'm going to break the platforms as I go as well. Because I need to be... I'm guessing there's an item down there. Yeah, I see the item. I also see a rather large quantity of enemies between me and said item. Okay, what is the best way I can get up there? Why do I feel like I needed to, like, drop down from above somewhere? Because it kind of feels like I needed to, like, climb up the outside of the building and then drop down onto that breakable floor from above. Or at least further above. I am out of healing, which has me concerned. Because, yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that this is probably the pathway I need to take. Is that I need to ground slam from up here. There we go. I'm at approximately 0 health. Obsolete core. Another upgrade ability. I wonder if one of these is the one I need to get the last ability upgrade from Munin here. Also, it looks like I can probably skip dealing with most of the building if I'm just trying to get through the room. Though this is a respite. I see the particles. The particle effects are very, very nice because it tells me that I'm actually gonna stand a chance. Oh, it is the last one I can get. I'm gonna unlock it because I can. But I don't like the fact that it doesn't do any break damage, even if it is very fast. But yeah, I do think I am going to re-equip Bombard, because I think it's much more useful just running through areas to have Bombard equipped. Apparently, I can also enhance an ability. I can enhance Barrage. Yeah, you take depends on your max HP, you're pretty sure anyways. 12%. It's still a lot of damage. Yeah. Munin scared. Garm sad. Aw. Munin, Garm isn't a mutant anymore. Don't be scared. He's our friend. Whew. It is understandable for her to be wary of someone as imposing as Garm. Then she must be scared of you, too. I beg your pardon? Urk. Yeah, I do think that Nola here is a little bit intimidating. What do you say, Munin? That was not talking. Yeah, poison water. I suppose that is fair. Yeah, I am on hard difficulty, but I don't like how much space there is to the right of these difficulty bars. I didn't even read these bottom ones. that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I mean, I guess I could turn it up and it probably wouldn't actually impact things very much, given how much difficulty we are already having. Ooh, silencing light documents. Silencing light. A portable arcane instrument presently in the experimental stages. Aim to nullify the effects of the fumes. The device detects when blight infestation has exceeded the limits of the purification vials, and releases a lethal gas before the carrier can transform into a blighted. It is being mandated that all residents of the lower stratum, which is at greater risk from the fumes, carry it on their person. I'm not entirely sure if I trust that. I'm going to check what's down also, because we have this pathway, we also have this pathway. And I kind of want to at least see how large that room to the down direction from over here actually is. Since we different respite, or if it like ultimately loops back around. Oh, it's a giant pool of poison water. That's just pleasant. That's real pleasant. And I'm like turned around and lost. Okay, I can heal. There is an item. Okay, there are items down here. But I feel like having good navigation skills is slightly important. 5 extra health is a lot. I will definitely take 5 extra health. Okay, we do get one more heal down here. I don't think I necessarily like the mandatory poison water section. Because that's a little bit, it's a little bit of a, certainly a section. But I suppose it does give me 1 heal, and I only used 2 because I went and grabbed that item. So if I didn't grab that item, I could probably get here with nearly full health. Yeah, you're going to turn everything to max and die immediately. Honestly, that's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, one of the things that you'd have to turn on everything to max would be the instant death or ability there, or toggle there. So yeah, that definitely tracks. Yeah, this poison water is a little bit intense. Yeah, all the poison water down here is a little bit intense. Something I do very much like about that both the Ender games have done, that if I pick up a heal while I'm at full healing, instead of just like losing the ability to use that heal, it just auto applies it. And that is super, super nice in my opinion. Because that also makes it a lot nicer to just get my heals. Okay, there are a lot of wall spiders. Those things deal a lot of damage. I did not realize how much damage those actually do when they hit you. Also, I should probably actually have Munin enabled instead of just having them exist. Because yeah, this poison water deals a lot of damage. At least I realized I can dash in the water to move faster. Because there have been games where I have not realized you can move faster in the water until I've taken a rather large quantity of damage from not moving faster through the water. Okay, I want to slam attack onto this one. Okay, the game is, it doesn't feel unfair, which is why I don't necessarily mind the extremely high difficulty that hard mode seems to have given me. Because yeah, okay, those deal a lot of damage for sure. Okay, I'm going to take out one at a time. I'm going to slowly sneak up. There we go. That worked significantly better. Yeah. Hey, thanks so much, Stream Alexander. And yeah, this game is a lot of fun. It's also mildly terrifying with some of the difficulty levels of some of these enemies. Because also, there are so many enemies down here that just deal a, like, 999 damage, it seems like. Okay, I just opened up a secret pathway somewhere. Can I use my pressure ability to just stun lock that spider until it goes away? I can, and I definitely will take advantage of that. I'm definitely not afraid to use some slightly cheesy strategies if it works. Because yeah, this is another item. Increases max health by 5. 5 health is always welcome. I don't think there's anything in the poison goop water down here, though. Oh, it leads to the same direction, but the other pathway's a shortcut, it seems. And then we have multiple exits to the left. We have both an upper and a lower left exit to the left side. And I am a little bit low on health again. Yeah, you're turning instant death off. Honestly, I think that's fair enough. Waste levels exceeded. Unable to process. Okay, these creatures are able to talk. I clean very good, but Garbage King better. Garbage King master of cleaning. Are we gonna face the Garbage King soon then? Raw waste is burnable. Scrap metal is not. Homunculi are for recycling. Sort waste and offer to the gods. I like how they're singing as they work. That is not a respite. That is definitely not a respite in that room. There is an item here though. Journal of an Attuner. It's been half a year since I left my companions and the Attuner squad. I thought our job was to aid the homunculi, but the reality proved very different. Only the most gifted attuners are allowed the opportunity to tune. The rest of us with low resistance to the blight and a lower aptitude for magic are resigned to collecting parts and cores from defunct mutants. We're just cogs in the wheels to both House Milius and House Frost. Overworked until we burn out. That's not friendly. Okay, there's apparently also a pathway down here. There are a lot of pathways here. And I have like 0 health for swimming through any of this poison water down here. Okay, yep, that is... Garbage King is up ahead. That's kind of what I figured. Because they're talking about the Garbage King. Though I also took a lot of damage clearing that first room and unlocking a shortcut. I still really like the fact that the game's like fast travel and sprint system is you get to ride on a dog. Or I guess ride on a giant friendly wolf friend. Okay, I need to make it through this room with my health above 0. Because then I can heal. I can at least heal when I do that. Yeah, I have the pathways to the left and I have the pathways down. And it seems like both of those are probably going to the same general spot. Because I'm guessing I can just... Okay, I do need to go down and open the shortcut from the bottom. Interesting. They're very, very interesting. I suppose I am at least getting a lot of free heals for opening these different doorways and stuff in the poison goop. That is something I noticed that Ender Lilies did also is the round where in like spots you need to like take actual damage from the water. Okay. I can't get down there yet. Because I need to open up a second pathway from the left somewhere, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing is going to be down this way. Somewhere through here. Yeah, I'm going to guess somewhere through here. Okay, maybe not through here. I did get a grimoire. I wonder what abilities or items that unlocked. Okay, that's kind of all the pathways I have from that direction. And it looks like these are both leading into the same room from both respites. So I'm going to go in from the top respite first because I think the ceiling spiders are a little bit easier to clear top down than bottom up. Though that might just be my particular style of clearing them. I do really like the scythe attack. I also need to be a little bit more careful. I definitely need to be a little bit more careful with how I'm fighting these enemies because I don't have that... I'm not a very durable character. I'm not a very durable character when it comes to taking damage. I take a lot of damage from basically every attack. And that is makes it a little bit tricky to clear some of these rooms. I'm just hoping that there's another respite before Garbage King and that it's not like a run back through one of these areas. Though I also would not put having a run back past the developers. Yeah, I would not put having a longer run back past the developers, because that does seem like something that they might do. Ooh, 450 materials. I have a lot of materials. Ah, box attacks. Box is attacking me again. I am out of healing, which is not great given I'm pretty sure I need to swim through the poison goop. Yeah, you died immediately in upper stratum. Given how much difficulty I'm having in lower stratum, I'm not entirely surprised at the upper stratum, which I'm assuming it goes upper, central, lower in the progression order of how you move through the game. And I'm guessing that lower stratum is the easiest of the three, and I'm already getting absolutely wrecked by lower stratum. Which is concerning for the fact that I know we have significantly more to go. Okay, there's a lot of just poison water in this area. Yeah, there's just a lot of poison water. I cannot break that wall under the water because I can't use the dash ability in the water to break the wall. It's limited to above the water only, so far at least. Okay, is there a secret over here? There is a secret over here. House Milius earrings. Increases damage dealt by autonomous abilities by 20%. Earrings carrying the seal of House Milius. The ornate craftsmanship beneath the thick coat of rust would suggest they were once worn by the house's lord. Interesting. That is certainly very interesting. Because that would be 20% more damage from Munin, who is a... Okay, that is another shortcut. That is definitely another shortcut down and around. I'm opening up a lot of shortcuts here, which I'm not entirely sure if I'm a fan of how many shortcuts the game is giving me. What's the fastest way over here? I think the fastest way is from the top respite down and around. Because we've opened up both pathways now, and I'm gonna guess that the Garbage King is probably past these two gates that we just opened. Because they were talking about the Garbage King, and that feels like very much a here's how you unlock it, is you open these two gates and then there's a boss fight. That's at least my current working theory. Which I like my current working theory because it's a good theory, I think. Assuming I can actually make it there. Also, am I dropping frames again? I don't know why my internet today is having issues. It normally is fine. But apparently today my internet provider just decided that I don't need stable internet for I don't know why. They do that sometimes. And I can't say I'm a particularly huge fan, but well. Okay, heal, take out the spider. So I gotta be more careful. Because if I'm not careful, I take a bunch of excessive damage, and it is not survivable to take a bunch of excessive damage. Ooh, this water's not poisoned. And it is another respite. The respite is very nice. 4 relic slots for the House Millie's earrings. That is not worth it. That is not worth the little bit of extra damage that it would deal. So I'm going to guess that this is probably Garbage King. Because this looks like a boss fight room. This definitely looks like a boss fight room. Stay away. Everything here belongs to me. I won't lose anymore. Not quite what I expected to find. Yeah, that do be a boss fight. King of the Garbage Heap. They don't have that much health. They hit hard. They hit hard. They don't have a ton of health, though. I think I'm going to switch Munin back over to the other ability because Bombard seems to be pretty good. Yeah, Bombard seems to be pretty good for like just normal traversal, but the not Bombard ability, default one, I can't remember what it's called, seems to be a lot more helpful against boss fights. Okay, okay, the boss does deal a lot of damage. Yeah, the boss... Okay, yeah, the boss really does hit. Like a giant ball of garbage. Yeah, prepare for ball. Prepare for me to run out of health very quickly for the first couple of attempts, apparently. Because that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that is a concerningly large portion of my health bar. Yeah, that is a concerningly large portion of my health bar that they are just zeroing out there. We'll get figured out quickly, fairly quickly. The boss, though, it is definitely a boss fight. Okay, what is the dodge timing on that? Because I also have very, very narrow windows to actually deal damage and heal. Okay, so when they go up, they're going to always do a ground slam attack. And I need to definitely not be on the ground when that happens. Yeah, I definitely need to not be on the ground when they're doing a ground slam attack. Oop, they are now a sphere of spewing fire spear? Okay. The fire doesn't deal that much damage, but I had like 0 health anyways, which makes it just a little bit tricky. Just a little bit. But I think I'm figuring out the boss fight pretty well here. Yeah, then I can just jump up in the air. Yeah, my pressure ability is not seemingly super worth it for this boss. Yeah, my pressure ability doesn't seem to be super worth it for this boss fight. Okay, I'm gonna heal when I have the chance. Yeah, always heal when I have a chance to heal. Yeah, they don't seem to be the most difficult boss ever. Now that I figured out how their attack patterns actually work, I'm assuming... Unless they have a phase 2 with like a second health bar, but from what I can tell, the developers tend to limit that to only the final boss of Ender Lilies. Oh, no, there is a second health bar. Okay, I was legitimately not expecting a second health bar from King of the Garbage Heap. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, they move fast. Yeah, they move. They move fast. And deal quite a bit of damage. I should actually use my abilities. Okay. I ran them out of health, but I also ran out of health at the same time. That was... Apparently, if you tie on running out of health, the boss gets the win. Which, honestly, fair enough. Yeah, honestly, fair enough. I just wasn't really expecting a phase 2, so I didn't really attack at the start of it. And I think that did not help my damage output. Okay, now there we go. Yeah, you said it was going to be a ball. I thought you meant this ball and not the phase 2 ball. But yeah, you did say it was going to be a ball, and a ball indeed it was. But yeah, this boss still doesn't seem too overly difficult. I'm going to heal before I trigger the next phase. Because now I'm going into this phase with actually health. I'm actually going into this phase with an amount of health that's not 0. Which I suspect helps quite a bit. So I do need to make sure I keep my health above 0 still. Yeah, they are a sphere. And I'm out of health again. Okay, I need to be a little bit more careful in... I'm going to call it phase 3, because it feels like a phase 3. It feels like I have phase 1 with it having the legs, phase 2 with it not having the legs but spewing the fire everywhere, and then a phase 3 with it just being ball. Yeah, just orb. Yeah, phase 3 I think is just orb. Okay, I do still need to be a little bit careful here. Yeah, this is not... I should also make sure I always activate Munin before the fight starts. Because that is mildly problematic if I forget. Because that is less damage output. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the fire that they throw out's not that honestly terrible to deal with. Okay, can I please start hitting them and get a couple of attacks off for free-ish? Okay, yeah, because when they roll across the ground, that's a little bit tricky to actually hit them. Because they move fast. Yeah, they move real fast there. Okay. Okay, I think I'm figuring it out somewhat. I did not expect them to do 3 attacks there. Okay. Okay, yep. I can use Glacial Fist for dealing a surprisingly good amount of damage, actually. Okay, is this actually the end of the fight now? I think so. Okay, yeah, tune. It is definitely the end of the fight when I get the tune message, as far as I can tell. Lord Motley, I am sorry, but the head of the house is not long for this world. No, Gilroy, what do I do? Uh-oh. I will aid you as administrator of the barrier, but as our new lord, you must stay strong. Uncle? What are you doing? You will pioneer a new breakthrough, nephew. Homunculi created from humans. A chance to embrace eternal life. You should be honored. Did he turn him into a homunculus? They say lions cast their cubs into valleys. A loving uncle, am I not? Crawl your way back up, and you can be the new lord of House Milius. He turned his nephew into a homunculus. Did he do that just solely so he could take over the house? Or control of whatever lordship was going to go to this... I'm assuming this spider creature instead, that used to be a human. What was that? A memory of House Milius? Did they really turn humans into homunculi? Were you once human? Everything was taken from me. Now, collecting garbage is all that brings me comfort. Your name is Motley, isn't it? Thank you, Motley. That seemed like an important memory. Motley. My name, yes. Maybe, if I go with you, I can regain more of what I've lost. We're journeying to the upper stratum. That's where your home is, isn't it? Thank you. So they turned a spider into a human. I'm not... Ooh, Motley's magic strands. When near a hook point, L2 and X. Motley's strands allow for a new form of traversal. Use hook points to evade enemies and access new paths. That's the grappling hook ability that I thought I was going to get at some point. I like that. Oh yeah, that opened up several pathways that I couldn't get up before. Because I know there's at least a couple of pathways I've taken that, or I've seen that would have required it. Oh, this is it. Ooh, it's a shiny item. Ah, excuse me. I managed to find a supply system core. We should be able to make do with this. Leave the rest to me. That's a relief. We're also getting arcane instrument restoration devices set up in town. So stop by whenever you're there. Ooh, relic refinery. That's what scrap's used for then, is upgrading relics. By the way, I haven't been able to reach the Chief Attuner. The Chief Attuner has the key that activates the lift. Where did they go? That's probably in the crystalline realm that we haven't made it into yet. See, I can't break that pathway, but there were hook points up above these rooms, I think. Which means upgrades. Upgrades. So, what we get everywhere is just lots and lots of upgrades. And they are all... Every item in this game is super useful with how with just the difficulty level and how limited actual upgrades seem to wind up being. Okay, because now we have... Yeah, now I have the ability to use these hook points up on the ceiling to figure out what the missing item in this area is. Is it something off to the right then? Because it's not something off to the left. Oh, it is going to be just past. It's going to be the one off to the. It's going to be the ones off to the right, isn't it? Up there somewhere. Well, once I actually make it up there, at least. Yeah, that... I need to actually make the jump. Because I saw a path... Wait. Okay, apparently I'm very bad at actually making those jumps. Okay. Oh, the ones with the big spheres I can attack kind of from below. Oh, I think I'm trying to dash before I think I'm trying to treat them as too much of like a spider, like slingshot, and less of a you're going to stick to the grappling hook point, which was causing me a little bit of problem because I'd get off the grappling hook too early. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense how these grappling hooks work. There we go. 5 health. 5 health is still 5 health. And it appears that that's the only thing in that room. And I'm climbing like all the way back out from here. Where's this door? Oh, is this I don't remember where this is. It seems to be a shortcut that's basically 10 bonus health. Okay, that's actually really nice. And there's also another grappling hook point off to the left here. I'm very easy to distract if you can't tell. I am extraordinarily easy to keep to just distract with like anything even remotely shiny looking in the game. Because yeah, I can get up here. This is a new pathway. There's an item. Increases damage dealt by 10% when HP is full. A charm made with magic strands extruded by a homunculus. Strands are of a consistent color. Fascinating. It's also a locked door. What's with that locked door? I want to know what's with that locked door. And then there's also an item over here. Yeah, there's also an item over here, or something I missed in this room over here. I know that because the room is not blue yet. That I had gotten everything from the room. The room would be blue looking. But it is. But it is not. Which means there's secrets to be discovered. And I think I remember this room also having hook points somewhere, I thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a hook point somewhere in this room. This is probably the item I need. An additional relic slot. Additional relic slots are super helpful. Oh, I think I can also get the item from this room now over here. Over by Tethered Steeple, because I think this one was locked behind... I think there was at least an item over here that was locked behind a similar... Yeah, behind the similar, just needing the pickup points. Ooh, Charmed Fragment. Which is another 5 health. Okay, I'm actually getting a pretty good pile of health upgrades right now. Which I gotta say I quite appreciate. Because the damage... Because enemies deal a lot of damage, so a little bit more health is very, very nice. And then yeah, there's also grapple points in this room. I kind of get the feeling I was intended to go through this area later than I was, potentially. Or later than I did, potentially. Given that there's multiple rooms in this area that kind of are just like, oh yeah, if you have grappling ability... Oh, it's over to the right, not the left. I went to the wrong side. And then this is increases damage dealt by pressure abilities by 20%. Given how much I use my pressure abilities, that's actually a super nice ability. I don't think I can get everything from this room yet because I can't quite break that thing into the swim, and I have no idea what that question mark is yet. But there were also... That room has the locked thing. Can I get up this room? Or can I get up either of these rooms up in the old city area that I'm missing items in? I have a couple more ability upgrades from the first time I came through these areas. Though I'm not sure they help me with the vertical movement that I'm kind of think I'm needing. Yeah, I'm definitely missing things in this room. And I just don't know if I have the unlocks yet to get them. Because it almost feels like I need to, like... It almost feels like there's going to be a wall climb ability at some point, maybe. For that room, because that's the only path up I can... that I'm noticing, at least. Is some sort of, like, thing that where I'd be able to climb up a wall? I don't know. And or I'm just, like, missing an obvious path forward. I will say, I very much like the music of the Ender games. Ender Lilies and Ender Magnolia both have very good music that I greatly enjoy. And it's like, it very much fits the games. Because yeah, I'm kind of wondering if I can almost movement jank my way up there, but that looks like it's too far. Yes, I'm being very, very distracted right at the moment. Because I also have the ability to unlock... Oh, I can go up in the city area now. I'm guessing there's going to be an item up... Oh, there is an item up here. Increases scrap from enemies by 15%. That's another screen marked off as blue. I can get that item right now. Did I just mess up my movement jank a little bit? Ooh. That's a lot. An extra health point from defeating enemies is pretty good. Okay, I definitely am going to need to focus on getting scrap. I really want to upgrade this one because the reduced cooldown for abilities feels super, super good. Yeah, okay, I can give that item a couple more tries to grab. It's not that far, and the attempts don't take that long. But that is a very long horizontal traversal. Yeah, I should really focus on just trying to pick up as much scrap as I can when I'm running through these areas. Because 3,500 scrap to upgrade the thing I want to upgrade is quite a bit. There's quite a bit of scrap required. Because, I mean, none of the enemies in this room are particularly dangerous to me right now. Which is honestly a surprise. Yeah. Because I can stall a decent... Yeah, I can stall a decent amount with my abilities. Because the only ones that seem to really give me much in the way of stalling... Okay, if I, like, dash off the ground, because, yeah, it's like, I can kind of do, like, multiple attacks and dashes kind of in a row. Because I can dash... Because, like, I can dash, or I guess I can jump, air stall, dash, air stall, jump, air stall, dash, air stall. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because that feels like... That still feels like it's just a touch too far over. From what I can tell, the different attacks I can do with Nola don't really extend how far I can actually make it. Because, yeah. And then I'm still gonna be too low is the problem. Because I'm like either just I'm either gonna make it like too... Like I can't... Oh. If I slow down my attacks, I think I go a little bit further. Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly safe thing to try. Okay, that definitely did not have enough horizontal. I think if I try to go from this platform, I get definitely not enough horizontal. Do I know of the red area? I know of a red area. I know of the red area off to the right here, Crimson Forest. That's actually one of the first areas I went through. Yeah, that is not quite enough in this closer platform that gives me enough horizontal. Seems to not quite give me enough vertical. I'm guessing if because I've cleared out most of that area at this point. Outside of what looks like one of the lilies from Ender Lilies over there, and then some stuff I can't pick up down there. And there's a locked door there. I can't break that yet. And then that's Crystalline Realm, which I haven't been to yet. I think I can actually go up in this room now, off to the right here. Okay, it feels like I just don't have quite enough air stall to fully make it through that. Fully make it through, or up to that item in that room off to the right of the... I'm assuming that's the central, or the elevator to the central stratum. That's at least my current working theory. And I'm guessing I'm going to get an ability to make getting some of these slightly weird to get to locations a little bit easier. I do have Shackled Beast. Oh, does Shackled Beast give you more air stall? I do have Shackled Beast. Oh, look, I think that's Levi up here. Levi. Y'all? Thank goodness, you're alive. That's my line. I've been looking all over for you. I'm sorry for making you worry. You've been collecting junk all this time? I thought I told you to stop. It's not safe. If that gives me more air stall, that would definitely let me get up there then. You know how it is. Everyone's got to pull their weight. Gordon can't do everything. Yeah. Levi here's helping a lot, just picking up a lot of stuff. Permeated with fossilized blight. Interesting. Are you sure? I don't even know what to do with it. You don't want it? No, I'll gladly take it. Thank you. Who knows? Maybe I'll find something even better next time. You don't have to, you know. I know you've got Old City to worry about. You know, I thought I'd never see Yol again, but I made a wish that life gets easier for everyone in the lower stratum. If I make another wish like that, maybe it'll come true again. This is my way of helping. You know how dangerous it is outside, especially when you're alone. Sounds just like Gordon, but you know I can take care of myself. Humph. Besides, I'm not alone. Anyway, see you around. Not. What did she mean by not alone? Yeah, if Shackled Beast is a good air stall, I can probably use that to get the item then. Running back over there for the third time. Once my internet stops actively breaking again. For the movement for air stall, I want Shackled Beast on triangle. I want Shackled... Okay, that has a long cooldown for that one. Is there one of them that has a faster cooldown? No, I wanted that on triangle. I wanted that on triangle, and I want circle to stay on moon in here. Because this one has a much... Is that really... It stalls me, but it doesn't move me in the air. So I'm questioning if that's actually gonna let me get up there or not. I guess I can see. Yeah, it doesn't really move me in the air a ton. And it is a good chance for me to get a little bit of scrap regardless. Because yeah, it definitely feels like it's like right at the realm of. Oh, does that like reset my? Does that like maybe does that reset my dash? Is that what it does? Because that resets my dash. That might actually give me what I need. Well, let me test. Oh, okay, it doesn't. At least not right away. I'm trying to figure out how to use the Shackle Beast Airstall, because it kind of just... Yeah, it kind of just holds me in the air in one spot. And doesn't really give me much in the way of movement. It doesn't really give me much in the way of movement. I did not do my air stall correctly there. Because it's like I need to jump 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, jump 1, 2, 3. Oh, that is definitely gonna get me there. Because that lets me... That gives me... Okay, yeah, that gives me a little bit more. That lets me do my normal attack, I think, 2 more times. Okay. Yeah, that will definitely let me get that item. Okay. Oh, that means I probably have enough vertical to get there from the other platform over here now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that might be possible from that platform, but also I think the lower platform I might be able to get barely enough height from. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can definitely get that item. This is a tricky bit of movement to get this item. Yeah, I'm still a bit short on the height. So I wonder, how close do I have to actually be from a platform to pull myself up onto it? Because I might be able to pull myself up from further down than I think I can. Because I can pull myself up from that height. Yeah, maybe. Likely won't be able to use the item, by the way. I still want the item. And now I'm determined. And now I'm determined to get the item because I think I can. Because I think I can cover this extra distance. I did not do my air stall in the correct order there. Yeah, I'm still determined to get the item now. Because it's definitely is in the realm of seems possible. Okay, I think I still need to actually go from the lower platform and just get the height correct. Yeah, I just need to get the height correct. Okay, that was close. I needed like a tiny bit more height, and I think I lost a little bit of height. Yeah. I lost a little bit of height there. That definitely feels doable, though. Hold on, I need to be at, like... I need, like... every... I need, like, every bit of vertical and horizontal mobility I have right now in order to actually get up there. Okay, why did Shacklebees not go out there? 1, 2, 3 dash. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That was hard to get up there. Fills the SP gauge by 4%. I don't have it unlocked. You're informed by central stratums of tuners. It is said that the frosted tuners were forced to move to the central stratum after the lower stratum territories were taken from them. Yeah, I definitely can't use that ability yet. Still feels good to have gotten it. I think that's one of the more difficult bits of movement jank I've done. But yeah, I definitely don't have the ability to use it. Even if I can't use it, I'm still going to equip it because I have one extra relic slot. And I want to equip the item that I just put so much effort into getting, even though I can't use it yet. But yeah, that was some slightly tricky movement to get up there, because I like barely had enough movement to pull that jump off. And then I get to clear. Next up is Crystalline Realm, because I'm pretty sure I can't delay anything else, doing anything else at this point. Yeah, is it a useful item? No, because I don't. I know what the SP gauge probably does, because I can guess from Ender Lilies. Yeah, I can guess from Ender Lilies what I'm going to get out of the SP gauge whenever I eventually unlock it. I just definitely have not unlocked it yet. Yeah, I think I made it about like 3 steps into Crystalline Realm last time I was here before I got completely just eviscerated by enemies. Yeah, okay. I can make it up here though. Yeah, significantly easier movement jank to get up to some of these areas. Oh gosh, there are a lot of enemies here. I can break that wall. Okay, yeah, I can break that wall. Okay, that is... Those enemies are a little bit scary just because they deal a lot of damage if I get hit by them. But that is also, like, literally everything in Ender Lilies. Or Ender Magnolia here. I'm playing... Pick the correct Ender game. Yeah, I gotta name the correct Ender game. Granted, I did go directly from one of them into the other one. I just got hit by that frozen fountain thing every time I ran past it right there. Okay, can I please take these guys out? I do still... Okay, I mean, I can also get taken out. Yeah, the Crystalline Realm is... The Crystalline Realm seems like a fairly difficult area, which is why I was kind of putting off going down there. Because... Yeah, like, it legitimately seems like it's full of tricky stuff that deals quite a bit of damage. Especially, I mean, it's a little bit more doable seeming now than it was the first time. Yeah, it does seem a little bit more doable now than it did the first time through. But is still quite a lot of damage. Okay, oh, that's actually fairly easy to get up here. Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out... I want to clear as much of the room as I can, because every item is still exceptionally helpful. Yeah, I do like how the game just gives you the ability to be like up here. You might get a not super useful item, but we're not going to stop you. But the game didn't stop me, and I greatly appreciate that level of freedom from the game. Because I know a lot of games that would just be like, oh no, you're not supposed to be here yet, so you can't come up here yet. And just like put like an invisible barrier or something, instead of letting you actually just mess around and unlock cool stuff. Okay, let's be a little bit more careful fighting these guys this time around. There we go. Okay. So I'm guessing there's an item over here as well, and or a pathway of some sort. That is a new type of enemy. I have not seen those guys before. They have a reasonably large amount of health. Okay. Yeah, those enemies have on the wall that are hanging onto the walls here have a reasonably large amount of health, and that is mildly concerning. But I can also just use the ability to break them and knock them off the wall, it seems. It seems that strategy is still an effective one. Oh, the pathway through that room is just up and over. Though there is also a pathway to the right that I haven't been through yet. Oh, Levi's down here. What are they doing down here? Hey, you guys are here too? Levi, are you okay? What are you doing here? Don't worry about me. I can run real fast if there's trouble. Do they have some item? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something. Do you know what this is, Lila? Frost Visage. An arcane instrument adorned with styling symbolic of House Frost. It appears to be damaged beyond repair. The name Cassia is engraved into it. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. It doesn't look like something House Milius would come up with. It looks handmade. It looks like someone lost it. Give it back to him if you run into them, okay? It's all scratched up, so I can't make it out, but there's a name on here. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Levi, there's something I want to ask you. What did you mean when you said you're not alone the last time we met? Sorry, Yul. I had to find a new partner. Huh? I guess I should introduce you. Hey, Van, where are you? Van? Sorry, it looks like Van isn't around at the moment, so so she is alone. What kind of partner does that? I'm gonna go look. Van's hopeless without me. See ya. They get to run off. That name, Van. I guess she really did think I wasn't coming back. I like how there's... I never know how to read the, like, just ... out loud. Tattered notice. Warning. The burrowed beasts. They attack when their burrow is approached. These creatures are able to detect and consume magicite and are presently being studied at the Biological Research Facility. However, if you come across any, eliminate them as they impede our survey. The lower stratum depths survey team has already suffered enough casualties. Report eliminations to squad leader Lars. Who's Lars? Ooh, there's a platform there. I don't think I can break that wall from this side. I want to break that wall, but I don't think I can break that wall from this side. Those platforms I do know like to vanish on me. So they have done that before. Can I knock you off the wall, please? Thank you. I fell down with you. This is a terrifying spot to be. There are enemies everywhere. And they deal a lot of damage. And that's all my health. That's my entire health bar. Yeah, Crystalline Realm seems to not be the easiest area ever to traverse. If I value surviving my traversal of the Crystalline Realm, at the very least. I'm sure it's very easy to traverse if you just want to not make it past the first burrowing beast, I guess is what these are called. Because, I mean, they are burrowing, and they are beasts. So, burrowing beast, I suppose the name fits. I did see that there was another pathway out here, somewhere down this direction. Yeah, there was another pathway over here that I hadn't been down yet. I also keep taking so much damage just from the environmental stuff. Oh, there is a barrier here. Oh, I can't. I think I can break through that. I can. I need to charge up my attack a little bit. 400 materials. That reminds me, I never actually checked what items I unlocked. Where the heck is the town? That is not the town. The town is over here. I never actually checked what I unlocked from picking up that grimoire earlier. Some more magic files. Beast Bangle, Flower Bangle, Daggle Bangle, Pyroflective Carapace, Reflective Carapace, Leg Enhancement Gear, Relic, slightly increases jump height. I like the sound of that. Ward Propagator, accelerate the circulation of magic in one's body. I'm going to purchase several of these. I think I want, for the bangles, I like the extra heal potency. So Flower Bangle is definitely just an upgrade on a right bracelet. Honestly, the Beast Bangle, I think I'm going to take the hit of the 20 heal potency for the extra defense and health. And I'm going to purchase as many magic vials as I can, which is 2. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to upgrade my Carapace to one that actually does something more useful as well. Because that feels like it's going to be useful for traversing this area. I still really want to get an extra heal item. I may take off the unusable attuner's earrings in favor of... I'm going to go with the slightly enhanced movement speed and jump height for the moment. Actually, do I want to do that? I stagger enemies a lot. Actually, I think I might want the 10% damage reduction that I get from this item, the Tarnished Tag. Equipment. I want to equip that Carapace. This one was Flower Bangle, and I wanted to do Beast Bangle over here and just... I'll eat the lost healing potency. I don't have a totem yet. I want to know what the totems are. Oh, I want to see if I can upgrade my stuff, because I have a couple more relics, and I'm going to check if I can upgrade any of them. Oh, I can upgrade Tatter Tag. That one might... It only reduces the amount of slots it takes, but that is probably still worth it, because 3 was expensive. And then I can equip relics, and then I can keep my useless item equipped. I am still perfectly aware that that item does not actually do anything for me at the current point in time, because I haven't unlocked SP yet. But I put effort into doing a weird janky jump to get that item. I am going to keep that item. Even if I can't use it. Because it's also funny. Okay, was there another pathway off to the right side I can take? There was not. I do need to go up and over. Okay. I can work with that. Yeah, I can work with going up and over. I'm taking 2 extra damage now. I suppose that is very probably my own fault. Yeah, I suppose the extra damage is very, very much my own fault there. I do need to actually go, like, all the way up and over. Okay. No shortcuts for me. Yep, absolutely no shortcuts allowed for me here. Okay, the burrowing beasts. I'm not sure why I'm surprised that the burrowing beasts deal a lot of damage. Honestly. That seems to be everything deals a lot of damage to me. It's almost like I'm not like a crazy strong like action hero. And I'm just like somebody who woke up with amnesia in a rather hostile world. It seems to generally be what's going on here. That really does feel like I'm going to need to break it from. Because yeah, I don't think I can make that yet. Okay, I want to take out the guys who hang on the walls because they deal a lot of damage when they hit me. I want that item. I don't know if I can get that item though, and that makes me sad. Okay, take out the enemies. Because, I mean, fewer enemies is still always a good thing. Can I climb back up? I can climb back up. Okay. This is, I think, the highest point in the room I can currently get to, and I don't think that that's high enough. That is definitely not going to be high enough to get there. I think I need to go around. Yeah, the pressure ability that I get from, I think it's Yolin, the bird guy, are actually like legitimately nice. Because they deal a decent amount of damage, but they're really nice because they do a lot of break damage, which is super helpful. Can I just... Okay, these enemies are tricky to actually defeat. The ones that have the shields in front are pretty difficult. Increases the intensity of status effects inflicted on an enemy by 10%. I will take that also. That is also quite a nice upgrade. How did I not get hit by that damage? I did find the respite though. And respites are always welcome. The fumes affect both humans and homunculi. You have been exposed to them for some time now. How are you feeling? I have a suspicion we're feeling pretty much fine. Okay, no, I'm okay for now. But the deeper we go, the harder it gets. Humans are more fragile than homunculi. If you sense discomfort, do not hesitate to speak up. Worried about me? Apparently a little bit. Insofar as it would impede me. Well, we don't want to be an impediment. That would be unfortunate. There's an item somewhere in this room that I cannot get. Why? I suspect that there is an item up that wall. So yeah, I do think we are probably getting a wall climb ability yet. Some point in the future. I want to check out what was down and to the right first. Because I see that pathway down there. I just didn't take it. I just didn't take this pathway. There is an item down here. Totem. Fully restores lilac, or fully restores HP when lilac is below 15% of maximum HP one time used between respites. That is my first totem I've found. Depth survey record. First survey of the depths captain. Chief attuner Yoran. Attuners Jared, Alan, Linden. Attuner Lila or Lilia does not, or Attuner Lilia is absent at Yoran's request. Accompanying homunculi. Shackled beast. 10 miners, 10 excavators. The second survey onward, a newly formed advanced survey team will conduct regular investigations. Interesting? I think interesting? potentially slightly concerning. Why were they absent? Yeah, like why were they absent? I think is one of my real questions I'm wondering. I will equip the totem because that is an extra item slot that we have not. I'm pretty sure I don't regularly. Oh, that's a boss. Lars, Lurker of the Depths. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the slight problem of I don't actually hit 15% health very often. Because things hit hard. Yeah, enemies hit very, very hard. So I kind of question if I ever actually get down to 15% health for that to be a useful thing. Okay, this boss doesn't seem super overly difficult right now at the current moment. So unless the boss gets more difficult, or maybe, yeah, unless the boss gets more difficult, though this also doesn't seem to have multi-phases. Okay, oh, they are gonna run off. I've never seen anything like that before. And then the shackled beast is just one. It's just dot dot dot. I still have no idea how to accurately convey that when reading out loud. Uh-oh. Oh, Lars, oh, are these... Those kind of remind me a little bit of Lars, but like a weaker version? A weaker version of Lars. That seems to be what we're seeing here. Or at least who we're facing off against. There are a lot of these frozen geysers in this area. Yeah, there are a lot of the frozen geysers in this area. Honestly, it might be worthwhile for me to at some point equip the thing that deals more damage to stunned enemies, because I very regularly stun the enemies. Ooh, new model core. That's an upgrade item. I'm pretty sure all my current homunculi that can attack are fully upgraded. Okay, so this like deals like it technically. Yeah, so technically that would eventually, I think, kill them if I just started attacking them while they were targeting or while they were looking at me. But that does not seem like a good use of time. Because that feels like it would take an absolute eternity to actually heal there. Yeah, I'm not sure that this totem's actually super useful, just because I'm like never actually at the 15% health for it to trigger, unless I misread the equipment and there was another button I had to press. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's another button I need to press, at least per the description there. Which is... Because, yeah, I think it might legitimately just be that I've never actually hit the 15. Or the 15% health. That's an entire extra room. There's a lot of stuff down here. It's an item. 400 more materials. I will collect all the materials and I will create everything I can out of the materials at some point or another. Because I'm guessing I probably have to do that for to get the 100% of the game. Which I definitely want to do at some point. Or at least something relatively close to 100%. I don't know if there's like, if a game has like a super just like, oh, you need to grind 100,000 enemies to get 100%. That's something I generally will wind up skipping. But I do try to actually see the entirety of games I play. Okay, I need to not get frozen by those. I don't think I can break either of those from this side. I don't have enough space to charge up my... charge attack to break through those walls, so I'm guessing I get to go around at some point? Really, I'm gonna get hit by it as I'm falling back down. I mean, fair enough. I can't really be upset at the game for my own, for when I have my own skill issue. Increases break damage dealt by 10%. That's a pretty good relic because the break damage is good. I do currently still have the slightly more. What is that? That is a new creature type. I do still have the, like, my loadout being fairly healing oriented. Did it just trigger? I think it just triggered. Does it save me from getting a one-shot by something that would otherwise one-shot me? Am I reading, or did I just understand that correctly? Because if so, that's actually a much better item than I expected it to be. The totem. Hey, big guy. Mind if I ask you something? You talking to me, kid? Yeah, only I don't know your name. Couldn't tell ya. Don't remember it. Besides, the shackled beast suits me just fine. And what's that thing you're always smoking? Perfume. Helps me keep a clear head. Think of it like a tranquilizer. Don't go getting too curious, though. It ain't for kids. Don't worry. I've inhaled enough crap to last me a lifetime. The game cursed. That is a very mild one. Okay, because yeah, the extra break damage I feel is actually like legitimately something that's kind of useful. I'm going to actually unequip these two. I'm going to equip the extra break damage. And there was a second one that I wanted to equip at the same time. Yeah, increases damage dealt to staggered enemies. I think a more accurate combo to how I've been playing. Can I go down? There's something down here. I mean, there's a lot of burrow beasts down here. Yeah, there are indeed a lot of. There is in fact a lot of burrow beasts. If you fall off those platforms. I just couldn't help but notice that the room is still gray, which means I've definitely missed at least one thing over here. I mean, I've definitely missed at least one thing in this room. Possibly whatever's up top. Actually, probably whatever's up top. Okay, let's avoid whatever that creature is. I do think I just need to tank any damage if the geysers go off while I'm here, because I'm going to fall all the way back down. Let's not miss my jump up. Okay, there we go. Gotta climb back over the platform. So I'm guessing there's going to be an item and or a pathway over here somewhere. That's why the room is still showing as gray and not blue. Is that I missed something? Something on this side, perhaps? No? What am I missing? Okay, I mean, I do give enemies the break status effect a lot faster now, which is... Oh, there's a secret. There we go. Secret uncovered. Item. It's an item of some variety. 400 more materials. I'll take it. I do, though I do unfortunately think I have to probably call the stream here before we keep exploring more of the Crystal Realm, because I just looked at the clock. So yeah, gotta call the stream here for the day. Will be more Ender Magnolia next week, more Silksong next week, and then a new game next week as well. And so yeah, thank you all for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe so the YouTube algorithm doesn't banish me to the Shadow Realm again. And I hope you had fun, and I will hopefully see you all later. Bye-bye.